right, hold on. Let me finish this quote and I'm gonna go grab my props. Gotta have the props sometimes, you know what I mean?
Props.
That's my depression prop.
Can y'all see the dog's face?
I seen you. I see. Did you post that today or yesterday? I seen it.
Yeah, well, I didn't post this one because he looks so shy out. And
Look at
look at his face, Core, please.
It just looks like a
I
dog.
think he just wanting to take pictures, and he just be like, put the fucking phone down. Can you give me a treat? Can we go for a walk? He's like,
They're just like kids. Like, you know how they're frustrated, like another picture. I don't want you.
Let's get on with it. Yeah, motherfucker. It's Foundation. Lex Starwin. John Murdoch. Fuck's going on, kid? The God Knuckles. About to overthrow your motherfucking government. Yo, and you'll be loving it. Yo, my mom was a dope fiend, skinny as fuck with low protein, had no cream, 3 at night on the coke scene. Me, I was a broke teen, walking with old jeans in these cold streets, trying to reach my own dreams. So I gotta make it. I feel I need to be accommodated. I'm concentrating, or I'm so paper. We've been conversating on the perfect time to take it with a combination of time and patience. Find me pacing while my mind is racing, writing my thoughts down on paper. I will not be taken as a joke. Don't provoke me, or my shots will blaze them. Can't stop the hatred, so prepare for divine domination. I gotta face them, eye to eye, it's abomination. Dark authors, dark in the spark, y'all talk awkward. So pop off, I off you to conquer my mark target. You all talking often, it's all on my raw squadron.
Welcome everybody to our podcast. This is Phoenixville to Phoenix. I am one of your hosts, Ricky Fitz, along with my 2 other beautiful co-hosts. They look better than I do. You know what I mean? They're a little prettier than me. You know what I mean? And that's why we got them on here. You know what I mean? We got to bring a little beauty to the podcast. So we got Bombshell Kel, who is back, looking healthy as ever. You know what I mean? We missed her for a few weeks, but she was back last week. And I said the numbers will go up. The numbers are creeping back up. You know what I mean? I just, you know what I mean? Just believe me. When I say something, I mean it. You know what I mean? I mean it. To the bottom of the screen is Monnie Love, a.k.a. 4 Eyes. I'm just joking. No, I couldn't think of anything, so I just went for an insult, which was kind of shallow. You know what? It was kind of shallow, Monica, and I apologize for that. Can I apologize?
Sure.
It's responsible man.
Responsible mind. You do look very.
That I am.
You look like you about to tutor somebody right now.
I could.
You could.
Actually, Corey, you killed it with that because Monica is responsible, and then she got the glasses tonight. That just added right to it.
Drop some knowledge.
Money.
Yeah, drop that knowledge, kid.
Drop the knowledge, kid.
That's why this wasn't lit. I was like,
I gotta twist mine too. Let's go around feelings check. Who wants to set off the feelings check? I'm gonna go last because I feel like I'm gonna be the longest.
All right, well, I'll start because I was sick for a while. Last week I was back, obviously, and this week I feel even better. Got my last lab test results back, so everything's like back to normal. So physically I'm good. Mentally, I'm back and forth. I think that's just the premenstrual syndrome kicking in. So
that's always fun.
Other than that, I'm good. I'm just trying to stay balanced and trying to keep that positive mindset as much as I possibly can, as we probably all are.
That's all you could do.
Yeah.
Monty, what's good? How you feeling this week? What happened this week?
I'm feeling all right. My mood shifted a little bit because it's getting cold. I don't really fuck with the cold weather. Mm-hmm. And then the holidays are coming, so had me thinking a little bit about my mom. So these will be my first holidays I'll be celebrating without her. So just a little sad about it, but I'm gonna make it through.
What real quick, not to get, you don't have to dig too deep in, but what kind of feelings are you getting? Just sad feelings, kind of like it makes it more real, I guess, going through actual events.
And a few days ago, my mom's tombstone came in, and it took me like a good, I don't know, what'd y'all say, like a week to get over there. I don't like going over there for some reason.
I don't blame you.
It was weird when I was like teenager. I used to say to my mom, like, "Oh well, I hope I die before you," not really realizing how selfish that sounds, like a mom, losing their child. Right. But I was like, I don't know how I would make it. so I used to say that when I was younger, and I'm like, oh, I'd sleep out in the cemetery and I'd be there every day. And it's just odd how you kind of like, you foresee how things will be. And then when they do take place, it's the opposite. Like, I don't even want to go near that place at all. I don't like it.
It's kind of like, it's similar to like planning for stuff. You ever plan for something, and then when it actually, like, you'll try to walk it, play it all the way through. Like, I'm gonna do it like this, and this is gonna happen. You try to predict what's gonna happen and shit. Well, if he says this, I'm gonna come back with this. And it's, you get there, and that conversation just never takes place because it just doesn't go down like that. It's like we try to, it makes.
And I think the fact for me that my mom grinded me up about saying that type of shit, like, you better not be at no damn cemetery every day and all that other stuff. I guess probably contributes to the fact why I don't like going there. And plus, it's just uncomfortable. Made things very, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know she's not here anymore, but it just really sealed the deal, for lack of a better word. Seeing that. So, but it is what it is. I get
I'll tell you one thing, man, you're doing very well as far as, being strong, and because I couldn't imagine, but
thank you, I appreciate it. And
better probably than you realize. And I think when you look back on it, years from now, you'll be like, damn, like, I really got through that like a boss, like
a pandemic. Absolutely. And a pandemic on top of it. It's I mean, and like I said, I think I said this before, I feel like it happened for a reason. I just got thrown right into homeschooling my daughter and all this other stuff that's going on. And now that's coming back around, the lockdown and all that stuff. I don't know. I just think it's some bullshit. I'm tired of it.
Is that bothering you? You think the lockdown's bothering you too?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the shit because I understand it's a concern, and of course, you don't want to see people sick or God forbid pass away from this virus or anything like that. But at the end of the day, like, these people are almost financially worth more when they're dead than they are alive. You're going to keep us in the house. A lot of people are going to be broke, which contributes to mental health issues, drug overdoses, a higher suicide rate, and just overall, just not even be able to interact with people like the holidays are coming. And then they're saying, oh, you could dine outdoors. So, well, who the fuck's dining outdoors in middle of winter? That's number one. And then you got to be from the same household. So I'm going to have to show ID if we decide to go to a restaurant. You don't even need fucking ID to vote. I got to want to go to a restaurant now. It's crazy.
Hold on. You got to show ID.
I'm just saying that'd be the only way I could think. Me and Kelly were talking about how else would be able to verify that, like, say all three of us went out to eat. We supposedly have to be from the same household to be out to eat together.
Yeah, that's the only way they're going to know. And then again, I mean, shit, what if we just moved?
My address, I've been here almost 2 years. My address isn't, I still have a Phoenixville or a Pennsylvania ID.
Yeah.
Just because it didn't expire yet. So I was just like, look, when it expires, I'll probably get another one before it expires. But yeah, I don't know.
And then, what were we talking about? How like all the stores are emptying out. And then maybe, I'm sure y'all can't really give me some clarity, but maybe somebody in the audience can. In a situation for like preparing for, I don't know what you think is going to happen, but being stuck in the house, I can't get over this toilet paper thing. That is not something that I find that's like that you have to have. Out of all things, why toilet paper? I don't get it. If it got that bad, then you just, as long as you got water, you're going to be all right. If it got that bad and you didn't have toilet paper. So like the survival mode of people is like very questionable. Not so much food. It's not so much like
I would think
into like panic mode, and that's what they go to.
Yeah,
it never made sense to me why toilet paper of all things.
I don't know.
I think cases of water. I think that was high on the list too. Like cases.
Yeah, water. I could see that.
Water, rice, stuff like that. Stuff that's like non-perishable type.
Yeah, non-perishable.
But yeah, I don't. In case you're just literally trapped in the house for weeks or months or whatever. You know what I mean? But Yeah, I don't
And then this bothers me too. This is a little bit off topic, but kind of is. All right, so toilet paper is the big thing, but like, say if you look at Christmas, for example, right? And usually like each year for certain age groups, there's the one main thing everybody wants. Right now it's probably like the PS5, right?
Yeah.
This bothers me. You'll go to get your child that, if that's what you want to get them. And they're nowhere to be found. But then it's like grown adults, some of them don't even have kids. They went and bought 10 of these PlayStations. And then they go on eBay or wherever it is.
Yeah. Well,
and then they're selling.
It's a business though.
It is.
Some people make, they're putting food on the table doing that. It's like sneakers.
Yeah.
Same thing with sneakers.
I try not to knock a hustle too much, but this is like, I feel like it is hustling parents, but it's really hustling kids. I kind of feel like, because the parents ain't buying it because they want to. They want to make their kids happy.
But I'll challenge that in a sense to say this. I'll play devil's advocate a little bit and say, I think more, and I think we just witnessed this right before the podcast started. We seen a grown man playing video games. I think grown men play it just as much as I think almost the kids do. I think.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not. They'll play video games, but I'm saying they're not buying 7 PS5s because they want to play 7 of them.
No.
And who's going to buy it? It's mainly going to be, there may be some adults that want it, but I feel like the adults.
Want one.
Yeah, but you would be able to wait until after Christmas, right?
I wait another year.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't, with the shutdown, like if you just as a marketing strategy, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm Sony, right? Sony owns PlayStation, I believe, right? They still,
I think it's
their system, right? Because I don't play that shit. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't play that shit. But and I'm hoping Kellen doesn't ask for one because I don't really want to pay. I don't know how much they cost, but I was hoping I wouldn't have to pay that much for a Christmas present. But
I think $500.
Because I don't think I could say no if he says, Dad, I want to play it. Like, fuck.
And then look, that's my point, not to cut you off, but then it's like you're going to really try to find one for him.
I'm gonna try.
Then this scumbag motherfucker bought 20 of them and wants to charge you a stack for it because you want to make your child happy. That's what I don't like about it.
I see where you're coming from.
Or Kel's gonna be mad because I'm gonna have to get it for him after Christmas when they restock this shit. But what I was getting at was, why wouldn't Sony make a whole shitload of them? It's fucking holiday season. You got Black Friday. You got Black Friday coming, which they're already doing some sales. And, I got speaking of Black Friday, I got a little GoPro, $100.
Nice.
Okay.
Walmart was having a crazy sale where they had them. My girl seen it, so we jumped on it and grabbed it. But
nice.
Be on the lookout though. They are having weird sales. Sometimes they're like 1-day sales, but they're trying to, I think, get some of the electronics and stuff moving a little early so everyone's not flooding.
Yeah, so there's not all these crowds. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially with COVID and stuff, because they have a lot of regulations where you can't have people storming the stores like they usually do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't know.
Sales.
I just don't really like. What were we locked down for 4 or 5 months, something like that, and then they opened it back up, and then we're open for about 4 months now or whatever, 3, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Something like that. And the shit's just back as if it never left. So why not be able to make some bread in the process? I just don't understand it. There are some people that put, small businesses. They're not chains, so they're not getting help from these big corporations. And so many people are going to not have jobs. And it's just fucked up. And I really don't think it really contributes. Of course, there's going to be more positive people now. We barely had any tests to begin with. This was all very new, this strain of the virus. It was very hard to get a test back when this first started, but now they're so accessible. You can get them whenever. You just call up or you walk in. So I feel like there's going to be way more positive cases because more people are getting tested. And then nothing's changed. Locked down, out, locked back down. It ain't gonna make sense.
And I mean, there's a lot of people going out in large groups, like protesting and shit. And
and that's drawing.
My cousin is sick. I believe it's because of that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She's been out protesting, and doing all that for months now. But them large groups.
What's the plan for COVID? You know what I mean? Like, do they have? Is there some sort of plan? Like,
vaccine.
Pfizer has a vaccine that's supposed to be coming out soon and for immediate use. But I mean, I don't want that motherfucker.
Yeah, like, what do we want? I don't want the first vaccine. I probably don't want any vaccine, but definitely not the first. I don't know. I'm thinking
medicines take so much time to run trials, and even medicines that have been in the on the market. Well, I talk about this with you, Kelly. Zantac, it's like a stomach medicine for heartburn, things like that. That's been on there for years, the market, and just recently they found out it has like cancer-causing ingredients, and that's been out forever. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm not fucking with something. If that shit can fuck you up, I'm not gonna mess with something they just putting out in a panic. Not so much a panic, but you know what I mean. I don't feel like they went through the whole process, but I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're going to rush it.
Yeah, they're gonna rush it. So
that's gonna be rushed.
I ain't fooling with that. But yeah, like I think it makes sense. Like, you know, these large groups of people. I don't know. What do we say? Common sense isn't a flower that grows in everybody's garden. I mean, a lot of this stuff's common sense. It really is.
I like that though.
Yeah, because it's not. And it frustrates me so much when I see somebody without common sense. I don't know. I get like really mad.
What frustrates me is when I go to the store, like I think it was 2-3 days ago or whatever, me and my girl went to Walmart. It's when we got the GoPro or whatever. It's 2 days ago, whatever, 2-3 days ago. We go to Walmart, we're behind this couple, and the wife has a mask on. The husband doesn't. He's just no man. And I'm just like, look.
Big dummy.
I get it. You know, a lot of people like, man, fuck, this shit ain't killing us. It's not doing this, that, and the third. Like a lot of like, if you're somewhat healthy with no pre-existing, like you should be fine. You should be able to fight it off, right? That's I guess that's the going narrative, right? But
hopefully
the entitlement of people, like, bro, just throw a fucking mask on. Like, no, it's a free country. I don't gotta do this, that. Yeah, but you're in somebody else's store. This isn't a public store. This is, you know, somebody owns this. They put rules on there just saying, bro, throw a mask on when you come in our stores to protect our customers.
Exactly. And then it's like, my mask protects you, yours protects me. And trust me, I think it's goofy as shit too. I don't want to be walking around with a fucking mask, but it is what it is. Like, just put it on. And
I'll be honest, it's the same demographic of people. I'm not going to say what demographic, but it's the same people I see day in and day out. It's like this entitlement that people are just like, and I think that's I just think it's goofy. I don't, you know, I just look at people like, damn, your wife's rocking the Joan, but you ain't rocking. You just look stupid at that point. You're just like super rebel. You look like a little kid, a badass kid in middle school or something. You just want to be bad all the time. Just fuck that. I'm not doing that.
That is their mentality.
It's just goofy. I know I don't like that at all. I mean, they're uncomfortable. They're not comfortable to wear all the time, but I'm actually getting used to it. I got to wear it at work all day. So
exactly.
It don't,
and, you know, and like you said, it's not ideal. You know, they're not comfortable, whatever the case may be, but we just have to do it. It is what it is. That's the rule right now. So we're just going to have to do it. I mean, even for my daughter who goes to school, they have them wearing them all day. And that's what, I wanted to speak on too. Like, as adults, we're having a hard time with this. Just imagine the children and how they feel.
Yeah.
This world's already difficult to grow up in, and now we're throwing all types of components in here. It's COVID. They can't really see their friends. School's different. They got to wear a mask all day. If, like, from the outside looking in, like, if you just kind of put yourself in there, it looks like some bugged out shit. Everybody got me. Like, do you ever feel weird still? Like, even though it's been going on for a long time with the masks, do you ever like look in the store and it's just like, wow, like we all got this shit on our face.
We all got it on. Go ahead, Core.
Nah, throwing a mask on before you go in the store, I feel like I'm about to go try to rob the fucking thing.
Right?
It's just weird. It's like,
but before that would have been a problem, right? Now it's like, put it on.
And I feel like when I'm in the store with a mask on, and I'm walking around the store, I don't know why, but I feel like people like are like side-eyeing me, like, look at this motherfucker. Like, I don't know why, I just feel weird. Maybe it's just me, my own shit, probably, my own little whatever, paranoia, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like people just, I don't know, like it looks like I'm about to do something to somebody or something. I've been getting that feeling from a lot of people lately, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm tripping, but it's just weird. And I'm like, is it because I got a mask on? Like, are they like trying to figure out, like, I don't know. But everyone got a mask.
But everyone got one on. But then again, too, if I think if we just reflect on ourselves, like if we were ready to put our mask on, we might be doing something that we ain't supposed to be doing. So maybe that triggers something like,
it
feels, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
very true.
But like, I don't want to be on here saying like, oh, fuck a shutdown. And it's like, I don't want people to die. I don't want people to get sick. But also taking like such a financial hit and not being able to be around people like, and you don't know what else is going on in that person's life. Like I was saying, like I lost my mom and then it's like, I couldn't even really see my friends like that. Like that shit was fucking hard. It's still hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not good mentally for people, and not bringing money in isn't good for this shit either. It's not good. Make people act crazy. A lot of people. It's going to spark a lot of more violence. A lot of things.
Well, the money
fly off the handle.
The money thing, hopefully, hopefully if things do shut down and then people are out of work, hopefully. I think they're already talking about that PUA shit might kick back in so people can file for that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think there's a few things out there, but you just gonna have to hustle. People gonna have to get creative. I think one thing about this adversity.
Getting creative with
Oh yeah.
Like I always love adversity. Like I hate it, of course, at first. I get feelings just like everybody else does, and you hate it, like, oh, this shit sucks, this, that, and third. But when you really sit down with it, it's like prison, right? When I was in prison, an old head told me one time, he said, Corey, what's your sentence? I was, 2 to 4, whatever. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, you skid bitten, you about to be in and out. He said, use this time. He said, nobody ever gets this time to sit still for 2 years out of their life and really develop a plan and say, you know what? When I get out them doors, when that opportunity presents itself, I'm going to attack it this way. Wallow 267 is a perfect example of that. He did 20 years, that's a lot of time. But if, even with this, the pandemic, it sits you still sometimes. And sometimes, okay, I was doing construction or I was doing this. Now I got to do something different. And it might get you into creating your own, you know what I'm saying? Creating your own business or your own company.
You said a lot there because I feel like even though this is a terrible thing going on, I don't like being locked down and all that, but I can tell you it gave me a lot of time to self-reflect and work on myself.
Exactly.
And I feel like even though this year's been hard and a lot of my friends and family have been through shit, I'm still coming out stronger. It's not bad in every way. It's just how you deal with things. You can either be like, this sucks, I fucking hate this, fuck a lockdown, and talk about it on Facebook all day, or you can be like, okay, maybe there's a reason for this madness. So let me take this time to work on myself or whatever. If you're good, work on your house, do something, but try to spin it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's all how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's just
absolutely
optimism or pessimism. You know what I'm saying? It depends how you want to look at it. Is the cup half full or half empty? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I could see it both ways too. I mean, there's a lot to gain from it, and then there's also a lot to lose from it. But I think my mood just kind of fluctuates with just how I'm feeling that day.
Right.
And when a whole bunch of things are happening at once, it's like hard sometimes. You got to catch yourself and try to reflect back, and it's like, okay, because just me being alive is a blessing, and us being able to do this. So gratitude with Thanksgiving coming up, and we should look at this all the time, but that's one of the meanings of the holiday for me is being grateful, being thankful, having gratitude, and then like spreading gratitude too.
Absolutely.
Trying to give back and do stuff like that. So but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it, but I guess I want to touch on this. Like I have mixed feelings because I didn't see it being effective the first time, So I'm just wondering, are we going to continue to fluctuate back and forth between lockdown and open? But is there going to be some type of outcome, a positive outcome that comes out of it as far as making the virus go away?
I mean, we were talking about last night. I was reading about the plague in 1918, or was it? What was it called? The Spanish flu.
I think so. Yeah.
But like, I mean, it was 1918 and 1919. If you look at the photos from back then, you see people like how we are now with their masks on, and they didn't even have the technology and the medicines and all that, the doctors, the education that we have now. So I feel like if they can get through it, we're going to get through it.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how long it's going to take though, but hopefully it's not going to be much longer.
Yeah. Definitely not. I just hope whatever that they're doing makes sense this time.
Yeah, because you said a mouthful there. I hope so too.
Yeah. What do you got there, Cor?
Yeah.
I have a depression kit, right? I don't get depressed too often. And thanks for letting me check in too. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, right? You know what I mean? You guys really are boosting my morale right now. Word of the day, morale.
We try.
Yeah.
So I'm always manic. When I drop for 3-4 days, it's kind of like a period, I guess, right? That's what it is. I mean, I guess we could call it.
Or a little crazier for a little longer than that many days, but it's all right.
Yeah, mine only lasts a few days, but you know, I have a kit. And this kit consists of 40s and blunts, baby.
Yeah. You love my favorite.
40s and blunts, man. I feel like I adopted this philosophy when I was a kid. I was about 14, 15. You know what I mean? When you're having a rough one, you know what I mean? A little 40, little blunt. It picks you back up. 40s and blunts, man. It's an East Coast thing. It's a Phoenixville thing. You know what I mean? And I had to bring it out here to Phoenix and show these people how to get over a little bout of depression. You know what I mean?
Okay. That kid don't just come out when you're depressed, does it?
Lately, yeah. I haven't been drinking as much. I did drink last night though, but I've been eating a lot of edibles lately because of my back. My back's been fucked up, and that probably contributed to why, you know, I've just been in kind of in a weird, you know, place.
Yeah.
It's not in a great place right now. Not a bad place, but not a great place.
Being in pain will do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I got to go to work, stand on my feet. And I was telling Monica the other day, like she does the same thing I'm doing right now for work. So when you're bending over slightly like that, over like a counter or something, when you're doing your thing, it just kills my back. So but I do have an appointment tomorrow morning at the chiropractor. So we're gonna go see if he can straighten it.
He's gonna work that out.
Good.
My girl found a Groupon. So I get 3 sessions.
Shout out to Groupon.
3 sessions for $25. Babe, what's it, $25? She's mad. I don't think she's talking to me. But
hi, Angela.
Probably because of me. I probably said some ignorant shit earlier or something. I'm probably a little.
Not you.
No way.
Yeah, me. I'm an asshole sometimes. Not all the time, and that's the key. It's very rarely that I'm an asshole, but I can be an asshole.
Okay.
And I do acknowledge
I don't believe that for a moment.
It's just a little, you know, just is what it is. But yeah, it's, you know, 40s and blunts, they kind of pick me up. But I will say this.
They kind of pick me up.
It's instant gratification. So it doesn't last long. This isn't a cure. This is just to cover up some symptoms so I can, you know, not be a bump on the log on this episode. So. But
and I don't want to grind you up, but I always say it to you, and I feel like I have to say it. With the alcohol, we've talked about this before, that is a depressant.
Well, for major depression, if you do suffer from major depression, I would not recommend the alcohol. Probably the blunts are probably cool. The weed's probably good for you. That alcohol will not have a good effect on you. It's gonna make you way more depressed.
Yes.
But again, I don't suffer from serious I don't know. I study a little bit. So like I study myself and my own diagnosis and stuff. So it's just funny because I learn more about myself when I'm depressed than I do when I'm manic. Because when I'm manic, I can't focus. It's hard.
You can't even slow down to think how you're feeling at that moment, really, or whatever.
Manic, I could just go like nothing, and things don't bother me too much. When I'm depressed, it's like we were just talking about optimism and pessimism, right? When I'm manic, I'm super optimistic.
Yeah.
I don't look at the negative and shit. Like I get mad at people when they bring negative my way. Like, yo, chill with it. Like,
I got you.
Like, slow that down. But when I know when I'm starting to get depressed because I start bitching and complaining about everything. Everything bothers me. Everything annoys me. Anything my girl does annoys me. I'm like she's getting on my nerves, this, that, and the third. So it's just, you just know. I guess boy yesterday at work, he was getting on my nerves. Probably the same shit. Just, you know.
Just shit, man.
Just shit. Yeah, the little shit bothers me when I'm like going through that depression. But again, I'm not depressed too much, which is pretty good. I like that. Yeah, and depression's good. Listen, I tried to get out of it the other day. Me and my girl, she got off work. I didn't have to be at work till 4. So she gets off work because she only works like a few hours a day now because she's, you know, she's deep into that pregnancy. She's about to have it soon. I told her to, you know, she ain't got to go to work, but she, you know, I think she likes going to work, get away from me for a couple of hours probably. But I think she do. Yeah, but what was I saying? Oh, so we go to this we go to this burrito spot, right? She was like, oh, I'm hungry for this. You know, they get cravings when you're pregnant, cravings. She wants what she wants, right? So I'm like, I don't really dig this spot. I went there once. I didn't really care for it too much. But I go get a burrito, right? Carne asada burrito, banging, right? This joint gotta be hitting, right? I'm like, this joint will be banging. I'm happy. I ain't eat all day. Mind you, it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I still haven't eaten. You know what I'm saying? Because I only eat, I'm down to 1.5 meals a day. So I only eat like once a day. One big meal, and then I'll eat like something light. Yeah. But that's all I'm trying to eat throughout the day. I'm trying to, and it's working. I lost like 10 pounds already. I'm trying to like get back. Yes, so, but we go to this burrito spot, right? And something told me like I was feeling like shit. I was like, she was like, yo, do you want to go to it's called Sombrero or whatever. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. Get out a little bit. Hopefully it should help. You know, depression can't hit a moving target. So let's get it popping.
That's your line too.
That's my line. That's you know what I mean. I'm a patent that, so don't steal it.
You better. That's fire.
But depression can't hit a moving target, so I'm like, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get loose a little bit. You know, go out and get something to eat. Man, I go get the burrito. I go sit down. I take one bite out that joint. Fucking sour cream just busts out. So I cut the joint open. Half the burrito sour cream. I'm like, that's disgusting. I didn't eat the burrito. So basically I went there to try to like lift myself up, and I got more depressed. I was just like, fuck this place.
You got a mangled burrito.
She was like, just take it back and tell me you didn't know. Nah, man, fuck all that, man. Fuck this burrito.
Nah, then they'll start fucking with your food.
We sat outside too. I almost threw the whole plate. If there wasn't somebody sitting next to me, I might have threw that plate in the street. That's how mad I was. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding.
I get the same way, especially if, what do they call it? I guess it's like hangry. I really believe that shit now. Because like certain times if you like you said, you didn't eat all day, it's 2, 3 in the afternoon, and it's like, all right, I'm going to eat, and you're looking forward to something. And then, and mind you, it's not you making it because you know what you get when you're making it, right? So you go somewhere, and then I find that always in them situations when you're real hungry, the food comes to you fucked up, and I'd be ready to snack. I'd be the same way. I would have threw that motherfucker. I wouldn't have cared.
It's like it wasn't like a big restaurant. It was kind of like, it's kind of fast foodish type place. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a little Mexican.
But it'd be good any other, for me.
Yeah,
like it was on just a regular day. Be all right. Yeah, no big deal. But it's like always when I haven't ate, I'm looking forward to eating, and it's like, damn, this shit's nasty.
My thing was this: I don't like sour cream, right? I can deal with it a little bit if there's a little bit on it. I can eat it, but because I don't hate it, it's just I don't know if it's the texture or whatever it is. I don't really fuck with it. So, but if you'd have seen this burrito, I mean, why would you put that much sour cream in anything? Like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, I was so mad. I was just like,
somebody messed that shit up. They weren't doing their job.
Yeah,
fuck that burrito up.
X amount of this and that in it to make it right.
I don't like it like a what do you want to call it? I guess like a sloppy sandwich. I'm not big with all the fucking condiments. Like, if you're gonna put mustard and something, put a little bit mayo, a little bit. But when you put a whole bunch of shit and that shit's dripping out the sand, I can't fuck with it. I don't like it.
Only thing I like super sloppy is a cheesesteak.
Okay.
I could deal with a Max's cheesesteak. You know what I'm saying? That's just all over the place. You know,
I like Max's.
Yeah, they're actually fun to eat.
You know, they're cool. I mean, anything else I can't think of, but I could do a sloppy cheesesteak.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Can't do a sloppy hoagie. A little bit maybe, because there's a lot of stuff falls off. So I guess it's kind of sloppy, but I don't do mayonnaise.
But I want it still like together. But
yeah, I don't like a lot of mayonnaise on stuff.
Me neither. I'm the same way.
Mayo is like why? I just don't like the white stuff. Like I don't know. It's too much.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of like maybe that's why. Maybe I'm like homophobic or something. I don't know. But that's weird. It's weird. I don't know. White stuff.
I don't like it. I just feel like I don't know. I just don't like it. It's too much liquidy shit in there.
It's like it'd be all on your cheek and over here. It's like wow.
And I feel too that stuff spoils quickly too. Mayo, anything like that that's sitting out. So it's like, how long has this shit been out? I don't know. I just don't really fuck with it too much.
Yeah, I don't know.
How the hell did we get on this subject?
I have no idea. Oh, because
of that damn burrito. They fucked my burrito up yesterday.
Burrito, that's right.
They put sour cream on my burrito, baby.
So that's just somebody fuck your food up, your lunch, your dinner when you go out. It will kill the vibe.
I have a thing where it's like kind of disciplined where that's all I eat. Like I'll eat a meal. I'll eat at work because work feeds you. Like they give you a meal, so you go order whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I go there. I work in a restaurant, so people know. So
I'm over here like
you know what I mean? Like they hook you up, and the food is banging. It's super bang. It's like a sushi bar, but it's like a Japanese / American fusion restaurant. They do all these fusion restaurants now. So it's like if they'll have an Asian thing, but they'll have burgers.
I think that's when restaurants get weird.
What,
the fusion ones?
This one's really good. Like everything I've had one thing bad on there. Like it's banging. It's really good.
I like when a restaurant sticks to like the one thing.
Yeah. Guess what?
When it's too all of Derek got me like that.
They got you know how their carrot cake's this big. It's triple. Listen, it's triple layers.
Did you eat it?
Nah, not yet. Hey, remember I told you my first day, Bull offered me a piece and I said no. I was like,
your favorite cake.
Well, I'm kind of like I'm trying to be on like somewhat of a diet a little bit because I feel like through the COVID and all that, I put on weight and I'm like, damn, I'm not.
I feel like everybody does because like, you know, a lot of times you're in the house, you're bored, you just, you know, eat more than you normally would.
And I think it contributed to my back and everything. Like that stuff, sometimes it carries over. So I'm like, damn, maybe I should lose a little bit of this weight that I put on. And so, boom, I'm trying to do that. But then they're about to shut the gyms probably back down. I mean, of course they're going to shut them down soon. So I'm like, damn, man, my back was fucked up, so I couldn't go to the gym. Now it's going to be out, so I'm gonna have to turn the yard into the weight pit. You know what I'm saying? My backyard, and just take it back. That's what I'm saying with adversity. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it just makes us more creative, and we have to find a way around or over or under the opposition. So, but yeah, I mean, this week wasn't a terrible week. I'm just a little depressed, so it just makes it that much worse, I guess. But it's not a bad week at all. Work's awesome. Like, you know, the job's good. Yo, I fucked up too. I left yesterday, right? And this is some scumbag shit, right? Don't ever do this, people. America, don't do this. If you know, I just did it because I was like in that mental space where I'm like, man, fuck it. I left work yesterday. As soon as I pulled up to my house, mind you, I could have turned around and been back at work in five minutes, right? So I pull up, we're pulling in the garage, and I'm like, I left the barbecue chicken in the oven.
At what?
The oven on?
Probably, I don't know. Hopefully the cook's down.
Probably.
Hopefully the cook's down. I mean, it ain't gonna go up in flames. It should have burned or something, and they'll smell it and throw it out. I don't know. I wasn't going back to work. I said they could fire me for
face. This is priceless.
Yeah, it was
smelling and throwing it out.
I'm not proud of it, but I will say I'm not unproud of it.
What?
No comment. I just hope that everyone.
I just don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm like, what are y'all gonna do?
Don't give a fuck.
The crazy part is and I thought about this too, because I always think about it. I overthink things sometimes. I'm like, they gonna blame it on the other boy because they don't like you. But that wasn't, listen, I didn't go in with that malice intent like, oh, fuck it, they're just gonna blame it on the bull. I thought about that later last night. I was like, damn, they're gonna blame it on the bull.
Oh my God. Of course. And look, you got pleasure out of it. Hey, you got pleasure out of that though.
I didn't get pleasure out of it because I'm the only one that really fucks with bull. But I feel kind of bad because I'm like, damn, they probably gonna think he did it. Because it's all, listen, like, we work with it's all Hispanics that work with us. He's the only white bull, and I'm for real. Besides, like some of the waitresses, most of the waitresses are like they're white and black and stuff, but it's just the rest of the kitchen and all that. It's Hispanic, right? They fuck with me because I think I look a little Hispanic and I speak a little bit of Spanish, so I can communicate with some of them. Yeah. But the white boy, big Italian boy, he cool though, but he's kind of in the way, but he's cool though. I fucks with him. I like him. He was getting on my nerves the other day, but yeah, they gonna blame that shit on him. Probably.
See, if that was me,
I own it. I will go to work, and if they like, yo, did you leave the Jonah there? Oh shit, I did. Sorry. Like, what are you gonna say? I don't fucking know.
Did you crash a work truck? Any of that stuff. I wonder, if that was me, I think I would call. I would feel bad and call.
Me too.
Like, yo, y'all gotta grab, because I would see when you say you overthink it. I would have thought the place was going to burn down.
That's
exactly
what I
would have thought.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I left this chicken in there and the whole place is going to be in flames.
You know, Corey's a pyromaniac, so he probably.
I used to be. Listen, I've lit some fires in my day. No one's died though, so I don't think the statute of limitations should do. I'm just joking. I can tell you. Listen, I can tell you about some dumbass shit we did.
Can we just do that off air?
Probably.
Oh my God.
Because I don't know. What if someone did die? I don't think anyone did.
Just please. Oh my God, my nose is itchy.
I know. Listen, I know someone that's dead. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's no longer living. But he did burn down Bombshell.
Oh yeah.
After we burned it down the first time.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, he burnt down Bombshell. It was fun.
Like little kids. Weren't we? I think I remember watching it on fire.
She tried to give it that, weren't we?
Yeah, remember when they blew up? Remember when they blew up the Montclair Bridge?
Yes.
Me and Joe skipped school and went down there and seen Mr. Elmer's class down there because I guess he took his class on a field trip.
Of course he did.
So we're walking down like on the bank of the river, like to see it because it was weird the way everybody was like sitting like I don't know, it was weird, but.
Yeah.
We were down there. We seen him. We're like, oh shit. Me and Joe seen him. We're like, fuck. We're down there riding our bikes.
Oh yeah, because you skipped school, and he's one of the Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that was funny.
A little over my head there for a second. Oh, so I seen this quote I really like. I want to share with y'all.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, let me get it up.
Does it talk about 40s and blunts curing depression temporarily?
No.
That Mickey the business with the killer bee cat.
Motherfuckers know.
Says,
you know what I mean, Kel?
You got the boxing gloves on?
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's about to go a couple rounds, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to get me a Mickey's one night.
I think I got a picture of our light up the one night or the coffee table.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Blunts and malt liquor. Can we call this episode Blunts and Malt Liquor?
Absolutely.
40s and blunts. Mickey's and Swishers.
Mickey's,
blunts, Rahu's, and malt liquor.
Yeah,
there we go.
Nope. Nobody wanted $50.
Yeah, they didn't.
You know what? Someone did win it, but he didn't want to claim the prize. He was like, I want somebody else to win it. Shout out to Bill Kohler. He was like, I know what it is, but I'm not gonna say it. Bill's right. The truth. But Bill, I feel like Bill should get the 50. I feel like I owe Bill $50.
Bill that 50.
Absolutely.
I think, you know what? Next time when I see him in person, I'm either gonna take him out for a drink or we're gonna do something.
Yeah.
I feel like I owe him $50.
You do.
I probably should just send it to him. I don't know.
But no,
you do.
I do, basically. But he said he didn't want it. But I still feel like he should take it.
He probably didn't think it was fair.
Yeah.
Life's not fair, Bill.
That's
Bill, life's not fair, Bill.
Bill.
You know what I mean? Life's not fair, Bill.
Let me
Prepare
get-
for lockdown, Bill. Bill might need this 50, right? Bill might need the 50. Now I feel bad. See what depression does? Depression gives me feelings. I don't like it. I hate this shit. I don't like this
You
shit.
are the most non-emotional person.
It gives me feelings. It makes me feel bad for people and shit. Like I felt bad about the barbecue chicken. Fuck that chicken.
Let's go into this real quick because this
What's
is
up with the
something
quote?
that-
Monica quote of the
Well,
week.
wait. No, I'm going to give you the quote, but I want to go into this because this is something that I really appreciate about our friendship.
I really appreciate it.
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
What do you appreciate?
I appreciate the fact that you can always give me a non-emotional response to things.
I appreciate that.
And sometimes I'll be honest, I'm a little envious about it. And I told you this before, it reminds me a lot of my mom too. I just like that you guys are able to separate the emotion out of things. And I can do it sometimes too, like, you know, as opposed to rational or emotional thinking, but it's a little difficult for me when I'm in the moment.
Yeah.
Where you're always able to just give me that non-emotional response. And I appreciate that. I just want to
Well, I think when anyone's in the moment, it's always a struggle. When me and my girl are fighting, you know what I'm saying? We arguing or whatever. It always is like 5-10 minutes later where I'm like, damn, like I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I shouldn't have yelled, or why was I so, you know what I mean? You start to analyze yourself like, damn, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. Well, that's growth too, though.
And one thing about me is that helps me sometimes is I always look at me. Every argument I've ever been in was my fault. And that's how, whether it was or it wasn't, that's how I address it. And that's how I can learn from it.
I kind of say, like, what part did I play in this?
Yeah, because it's easy to say.
What can I do differently?
It's easy to say, oh, she keep fucking with me.
Yeah.
Or whatever, this, that, and the third. Like, but it's like, all right, well, what am I doing? Maybe I'm not giving her enough attention, or maybe I'm not doing it, because I struggle with that too. Me and my girl fight a lot about that because I'm not very what's the word? Can't think of the word.
Affectionate.
Affectionate. I'm not very affectionate at all. So we struggle with that. And we fight about that. And that's just something light. I'm not gonna get into like anything, you know, we don't have any crazy issues really as a couple. But that's probably the most we fight about is the fact that I'm very cold and I'm very dismissive prior to her feelings a lot of times because I don't share those same feelings a lot of times. So it's like sometimes I'm like, all right, we'll figure it out, or won't you look at it this way or this way? But when you're knee deep in them feelings, you ain't always trying to hear that shit. So sometimes I'm always like on some therapist shit when she's like, nigga, just shut up and listen. Like,
you know
what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I struggle with that, but
well, to build off of that a little bit, I want to read you this quote that I found. If you avoid the conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself.
I like that.
I'm really big on this. I don't like to avoid too much. I really don't. I actually, it's one of my biggest pet peeves when people sweep things under the rug.
Right.
Then if you look at it, then this rug becomes a mountain. So it's like, say I have an issue with Kelly or Corey and I don't address it with y'all and I keep pushing it under, or you keep pushing it under. And then like we get back with each other and it's just like, oh yeah, everything's cool. And we just act like it never happened. Then you don't really address that thing that bothered you and it's going to resurface in some type of form.
Right.
So that's something that I really try to, I can't keep it in. Like if I got to say something, I'm going to say it. Now maybe I'll think about how I'm going to approach it.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't always, if I'm angry or something, I don't say anything because I'm not, one thing I suck at confrontations.
Right.
Like if I'm feeling some type of way, this ain't the time for us to have this us have like a conversation about what's going, like I have to cool off first. That's just me, you know what I mean? In a lot of situations, because I will say some foul shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, like when I argue, I think we all can say that we're pretty witty, we're sarcastic.
Absolutely.
We can hit below the belt and shit like that. But I don't know. I don't run from conflict for some reason. I never have. And it almost bothers me when the person that I'm engaging with does. And I'm not even just saying an argument, like it just could be any issue. And I guess I really shouldn't judge, other people, but in my mind, it's more like cowardice to do that.
What do you think? What do you think the reason is that people do avoid confrontation?
I think there's a couple reasons. Let me hear yours, Kel. I got a couple thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, because I for the longest time that's what I did, just avoid conflict in any situation. I don't like confrontation. A lot of it for me, and Corey, you did speak on it a little bit, is that I know how I can get.
Okay.
Like my mouth, the way I can pop off.
Yeah.
And and then it's like I also feel like, all right, if I'm gonna like be confrontational, I don't feel like I have things under control. You know what I mean? Like I'm letting out too much. Like I thought for so long that not being confrontational, I'm being cool, like I'm handling it the right way, and it's not. It's good to get things out. Yeah. I was trying to be too humble. I think that's what it was too.
Okay.
I really do. And
I think it's important to have a balance. Definitely. I can see where you're coming from with that.
Balance is good, but just always like kind of just letting shit fly and all that. Like it just, at the end of the day, you're overlooked in certain situations. It's like, oh, well, she ain't going to say nothing about that. She's cool, or, she's laid back, but whatever the case. But it's, those are the reasons why I was like that. And it's still something I'm working on.
Absolutely. I'm working on it too, the same way.
Yeah.
I think people feel uncomfortable. It makes them uncomfortable. Sometimes like if the issue is something that the person may know that they have a problem with, they may not want to reflect or take a look at their own behavior. So I think sometimes they'll avoid it that way.
Right.
Kind of just push it off on the other person. Well, like Corey said, like I could say like, oh, well, no, she's tripping or she's doing this. And it's like, then if you avoid it, then you could kind of just push it on the other person. And I think too, like maybe fear, like, oh, I don't want this person to be mad, or I don't want this person to stop being friends with me.
People the case may be. People pleasing.
Yeah. People pleasing. Perfect.
There's some people, there's some people that, and all that is insecurity. Most of it, I think most of it's insecurity. I think same with me. I know I'm very insecure with how I handle confrontations and stuff. So I try to avoid them. One thing that, and I don't want to sound like grandiose, but everywhere I've been in life, prison, the streets, whatever, people don't really bring bullshit my way. And I will say that, like, people don't just pop off. Like, I've seen where some people that maybe it's my size, maybe I'm a little bigger, or maybe my reputation, people just know me like, all right, he ain't no nut. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I see some people, and they're usually smaller people. They have issues with people testing them and challenging them and stuff, especially in jail and in prison and stuff. I didn't have that issue. And a lot of it, I'm glad, because I don't handle those situations. Like, I'm addressed in that. If I feel physically threatened, I have to address it. There's no, absolutely. Because I'm not like, like that. My safety and my security, like physically, means everything to me. Like, I don't play like that. Like, I don't even I strategically sit in places. Like, I'll go to a restaurant. I never sit with my back to the door. I have to physically be able to see entrances and who's walking in. I'm just weird like that. And that's just how it's probably from prison and shit like that. But it's just certain shit. So if I feel threatened physically, I'm addressing it, and I'm probably going crazy. But if it's other shit, like sometimes I'll let it go. And sometimes it's good to let shit go. Sometimes it's good to not address something, because
to give it energy.
It's 48 and plus 48 laws. You got to know when to show your hand, you don't always want people to know how you feel, because then you give them power to push the button, especially in a relationship. Yeah. Like with me and my girl, I'm strategic in some shit because I don't want her knowing that bothers me as much as it does, because I know when we get to fighting, she can push that button. Not saying that she's malicious that way and that's how she operates, but in relationships in my past, I've experienced shit like that. So I'm very cautious, and I'm sure y'all are too in certain ways.
Oh yeah, like I'm very limited on, like, obviously if like y'all know a lot about me, but like people like maybe that I'm not as close to, I don't reveal as much, because then I just feel like that's something that they may use against me later on or something like that. Because I've had situations where like I've confided in people about something and then an argument takes place and then that's thrown back in my face.
Yeah, they bringing shit up and you're like, damn. Or you tell somebody and next thing you know, you hearing it from somebody else. You're like, damn, you ran. I came and confided in you and you ran. That's why one thing with y'all, I always felt confident, comfortable. You, Lex, Derek, Derek and them too. I put Derek in there, put Greggy in there, put everybody in there, because I know that when I talk to y'all, my girl, she goes in that conversation. There's not a lot of people in that circle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just ain't. Ike's another one. If I say something to Ike, I know it ain't getting back to my mom or somebody, because I know it stops there. And he, you know, that's just Ike. He might tell his girl or something, but he ain't gonna tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, no, it's not gonna get back to the people I really don't want it to get back to. Because one thing that, and this is kind of taking it a little off topic, a little bit off the quote, I think, but I just want to say it anyway, real quick. One thing, it's like I could talk about Monica to Kelly, but I could be confided in Kelly. So things can easily get taken out of context if Kelly goes and tells Monica what I said. It's like, damn, why would you do that? Because I don't want Monica, like I was just venting. So me and Monica, you know, maybe I just vented to you and then me and Monica figure it out and it's cool. I never had to say to Monica because I don't want to hurt her feelings. Or, you know, relationships are fragile a lot of times because we're fragile people. We're hurt. We're broken people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a broken motherfucker. Like I got some issues and I bring these issues into a relationship, any relationship that I have. So, yeah, it's kind of like I see it at work. I see people, they talk about the white boy and the way they do it is corny. And I just think that's corny. Like, and it happens everywhere. It's not, I'm not pointing them out. It happens everywhere. And I don't know. I just think sometimes, you know, people, hey, you shouldn't be talking to me about somebody else. Maybe they talking to you about somebody else so they don't have to whoop your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Right. Maybe they just try to get the shit out to somebody else. And maybe Kelly could be the mediator to step in. And if she does go to Monica, maybe they can have I might go to Kelly. Monica might go to Kelly. We both going to Kelly. Kelly ends up being the referee that figures it all out. You know what I'm saying?
But see, like I'm all right with that because it's like our circle, it's our family. So like
we have a different
Kelly can talk about you, or I could talk about Kelly with you, or whatever the case may be. But don't like no other motherfucker can do that, and then I have a problem. Yeah, so that's
no other person really should be able to.
No,
that's a conversation that if somebody comes to me about one of y'all two, I'm gonna be like, you gotta go holler at them about it.
Yeah.
Because I can't help you with that. Like that's a conversation it looks like y'all need to have.
Yeah,
but
we don't do that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think
me and Kelly had a conversation about another friend and about a situation, and me and her both agreed that we was just gonna let it go and not address it. Remember, Kel? Not that long ago. I ain't gonna talk about what it was. It's not even important what it was. But it was just that type of thing where sometimes it's like, man, just let it. Sometimes avoiding it or letting it go. Sometimes the fire will just die out. Because a lot of times when two people are maybe beefing or two people have some type of issue with each other, a lot of it's just emotional. And we know with time, emotions always subside.
Yeah. So, once you let them simmer down, then it's like, then you think clear and it's like, you know what? Yeah. Or we could talk about it another time when it's
So I think I can be very passive at times, but I try to do it somewhat strategically. You know what I'm saying? There is a method to my madness sometimes. Sometimes there isn't. And I know I've went years where issues with my mother, issues with my son, I went trying to avoid it, thinking that it would somehow get better, or you know what I mean? But that type of shit doesn't. You have to address those issues and you have to be active, you know what I mean, in those solutions. So
I'm glad you said that, because there's one thing that I overcame like a lot, like big time, like just, and I mentioned it earlier, Monica, because of my abandonment issues from my dad not being like I officially forgave him. And I guess it's been maybe since like towards the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Always was something that it's like, you know, anytime, like if I'm dating somebody, or you know, or for even like for another family, like just doesn't talk to me out of nowhere, I used to just get so emotional about it and feel like it was me. And then I'd start blaming my dad because I don't know how to handle when someone just walks out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That has completely been lifted off of me. And now it's like, you know, it's weird. I mean, I'll still have them feelings here and there because it's like, you can't help it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
damn, like I can't believe like I shook that. That took a lot of work, and it's huge because it affects everything I do pretty much. Because you got to be prepared for shit to end at some point. Everybody's not going to be in your life forever, and you know, whether it be like they just walk out, things change, time to move on, and accepting it, and then you know, ultimately forgiving my father for not being around, and I understand why he did what he did too, and that's a whole other ball game. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to that.
I had an old head tell me one time. He said, "Corey, forgiveness is a beautiful thing." He said it allows you to get rid of those ill feelings.
Yeah,
he broke it down so simple. I was like, "Damn, that's dope." He said, "What's yeah, you get rid of them old feelings." He said that don't mean you forget that this person may have harmed you in the past, but you know, you keep that caution, and you keep, you know what I mean, that level of, you know, you got to protect yourself maybe with boundaries, but yeah, absolutely.
And I like, I was big with this, like forgiveness doesn't always have to mean like reconciliation. So say you hurt me really bad, right? Mm-hmm. And I choose to forgive you, but that doesn't mean I need to continue a friendship or relationship or whatever it is that we had going on anymore. Because I think forgiveness doesn't mean you just, we got to continue doing this. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, look at exes. We all have ex boyfriends and girlfriends, right? So we know that, all right, if I forgive my ex, that doesn't mean I want to get back with her. You know what I'm saying? But I forgive her, so I'm not walking around with that goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. You know what I mean? So I ain't got to fucking see you and feel like I got to run out the store or something. Yo, it was weird.
Like when I see somebody's mom, I ain't gonna mention her name.
My brother's baby's mom, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't seen this woman in 20 years. I'm in you know, apparently she lives in the Phoenixville area. So I'm at the wine and spirits store. It was like a holiday or something. So everyone was in there. The line was long as shit. She's in the
wine and spirits store.
Well, she's in there buying, you know, some wine or something, probably for the holidays, right? So she's in there and I'm in there and she sees me and I see her. I'm like, oh shit, that's so-and-so. I haven't seen her in forever. So I'm like waving like, yo, hey, you know, she's all the way in the front. So we're not close, but I'm like trying to wave. And she's like trying to get out of there. She puts the wine back on the shelf and leaves the store.
I would never do that.
Now look, I don't have any relationship with this woman. I don't know this woman that well. I knew her years ago, and that was it. She left the store because she felt uncomfortable. That's her feelings. There's no forgiveness. Whatever it was, she didn't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it had nothing to do with me. I'm just in the store, you know, trying to just peacefully say hi. I don't care about anything else. But hey, how you doing? I know you. Hey, I know you.
Yeah.
Crazy. That happened to me at the nail salon. I seen.
She sat there. But Kelly, real quick, before you go, I'm gonna let you jump right back into it. But she sat there for like 3 minutes, and you could tell her body language. She was uncomfortable, and she puts the wine back and just rolls. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And it made me sad because I'm like,
doesn't it?
I was like, I didn't feel offended or felt like slighted. I just was like, damn, she has to live with that.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, fuck you, bitch, you got to live with that. It wasn't like that. It was just like, damn, I felt bad. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because there ain't nobody, I could run into anybody in the store and ain't nobody going to make me leave the store ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't do that. There's no way.
Like, you don't have that much power over me. And I never had a relationship with this woman.
Yeah.
my brother did. You know what I'm saying? So that's the weird shit. It's like, yo, this shit is super weird.
It's weird, and it does leave.
I told my brother about it. He said the same thing. He was like, "That's crazy." I was just like, "Yeah, wow."
Yeah, it's not cool though. But that's her. That's on her though. And I learned that
I hope she finds that peace someday, because that's not healthy.
Hopefully she does.
That's just not healthy for her, or for maybe her kids or whatever. I don't know, her husband. That can't be a healthy situation.
I had a similar situation, what I was about to say earlier, with it's a friend of ours that we hung out with back in the day, and her mom doesn't like any of us. Well, I learned she still doesn't like any of us, apparently. And maybe you guys know who I'm talking about, but Joe told her, "Get the fuck off me, bitch."
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm in the nail.
I'm laughing at Joe because that was hilarious.
And every time I see her, I just want to say that. But anyway, I've grown, so whatever. But
listen, look, and her brother had something weird. Her brother harboring some feelings too, because this dickhead had something to say about Murdoch the one day. Some goofy shit, like, "Oh yeah, he's like a little thief or something." I'm like, man, we were kids, dude. Like, are you serious? I think we might have stole his bike or something. Like, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that.
How long ago was that? Yeah, your bike got.
This shit was 25 years ago.
When I was 10. I'm not still mad at it. I know who stole my bike.
It just blew my mind that if I see anyone from my past and they ever say, "Oh man, he's a little bike thief back in the day," like, you're a dickhead for saying. Because you're still stuck.
A fucking weirdo. That's what that's.
You're still stuck in 1995. Like, get the fuck out of here.
So look, I'm sitting in the pedicure chair. This was like maybe two years ago, and the person's mom walks in, and I'm ready. I ain't seen her in like 15 years. So I'm like, oh, I know there's like one seat next to me and then one on the end. So I'm thinking, all right. She comes charging towards me. And I'm like, hi, and she just looked at me. And then the lady's like, "You can sit over here." And she's like, "I think that's best." Because she put her in a seat. And I'm like, damn, I'm so glad 17-year-old Kelly is not sitting in this chair right now. And I was more hurt because I'm like, she's still holding on to something that happened. Things that happened, I was 17. And it's not my fault. We were all, responsible for ourselves at the end of the day. You can't look at your kids' friends from 20-some years ago and still be harboring these ill feelings toward them. And as an older woman, our parents' age, it's like you really got some soul searching to do. You just holding on to shit, and it's making you bitter. And it shines. Well, not shines, but it comes right through you when you're evil like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, though, a lot of times these parents, right, that I seen, like I know the situation you're talking about, and I know like the whole rest of the situation.
Right.
And I think there was a lot of drug and alcohol addiction involved, right? So a lot of times parents will blame the friends.
Always.
Why? I never understood this. I never understood. Your kid is the one drinking, smoking, shooting up, whatever the fuck they're doing. Your kid's doing that and choosing to do it as an active participant in all of this shit. It ain't like I invented drugs and brought it around your kid. Like, it's just we all were going through the same shit at the same time. Some of us got over it sooner than others. Some of us just got over it, myself included. So I look at it like I hated that. I never liked that. Because my dad, the one thing my dad would always say, he said, "I don't never blame your motherfucking friends." He was like, "I know you." My dad always knew. Like, nigga, I'm among the top of the niggas that's making decisions in my crew. Like, it just was always going down that way. I always had to say what we was doing or what we wasn't doing. Whether it was with Joe, me and Doc got together, we would do dumb shit as kids too. We were kids. We were fucking kids. But I hate how parents tend to. Parents want to blame everybody else. Like, it's never my kid. Yes, it is. Your kid's a fucking scumbag. Like, that's all. Just
Big Teresa be like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
That's all she was ever interested in.
That's it. My dad.
At the end of the day, you're accountable for yourself. Right?
Bottom line, you can't blame nobody. If anything, what the fuck was you doing?
Right. Yeah. And then look,
why was you with him? Why was you with him?
Yeah, exactly. If you knew they was strong, why was you with them?
Right.
And the crazy part is those parents, right? And I know a lot of people's parents that are like this. So you could been out their life and their kid's still fucking up, but somehow it's still your fault.
I'm like yo,
you ain't even friends no more. But he was the one that turned them on to it.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
That's why they still draw on.
Especially when we're in our 20s and 30s and 40s. Shut up. Yeah. I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Seriously, I'm pushing 40 right now. I ain't doing nowhere near.
And I root for anybody that struggles with drugs and alcohol to overcome it and all that. Like I just do. Like I think the person we're talking about is doing very well. And now that I think about it.
Yeah, she is.
Like the person we hung out with is doing very well. The mom's still struggling with her shit, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, and I love her, and I wish I could be, around her and stuff, but I can't because of, know what?
Sometimes it's like it's almost like you wish you could just tell them. Like,
I thought about it.
It's like you want to tell them, like, your kid's no saint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think
I don't want to get out of line with anyone's parents, and I got
nah. That's the thing.
I have my mom step in because she doesn't deal with situations like that very well.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I want to go back a little bit on like confrontation. Like, I've noticed that people, like, say they've already pissed me off about something, right?
Yeah.
And there's like a current situation going on, but I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
But and then something else is bad news. People will, so I'm already mad, right? And something else happens. People will avoid telling me and tell somebody else to let me know. So I guess there's kind of like like kind of like a negative thing to confronting everything because it's to the point where it's like, yo, Monica's pissed already, and we're gonna say this shit, she's gonna fly off the handle.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of, I guess people like, it's just easier. Oh, well, could you tell her that this is what's going on? Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, you're drawing. And then that makes me look like at them too, like even more like fucking cowards. Like, okay, you're drawing again. You can't even say something to me. Like, I don't like that shit. That shit bothers me.
I get that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And if I was you in there, I always do try to respect people's parents, but I feel I would have said something. I don't know how I would have delivered it, but I would have just felt obligated for some reason like that. That's where I have difficulty.
So uncomfortable, Monica.
Oh, I can imagine.
The thing is that I seen her again when I went to get my last lab work done.
Yeah.
She's walking out the hospital and I'm walking in, right? So I'm like, she ain't never seen me with this blonde hair. Plus I had mask on.
Okay.
So, but I seen her like look like kind of like double take, and she goes to get in her car, and she goes to turn and look again. So I went this way, and I just walked in.
She knew it was you. She was just trying to confirm it in her head.
Like I didn't want her to say anything reckless to me because I'm like, I like to think I have control over myself, but I'm so sick of that shit. I knew I would have probably lost my mind.
Absolutely. It's only a matter of time.
Just no.
You never want to cuss somebody's mom out, but I mean,
I don't want to do it.
Sometimes you got to do it though.
Sometimes, I'm starting to wonder.
And I hope you never have to, but sometimes it's going to happen. Somebody's mom's going to get cussed out.
If I do, let's say it happens, I'm not wrong for that. Hopefully I say if I do, that situation happens, I can handle it well. Maybe not use curse words. I don't know. But it might have to happen one day because I feel like I see her all over the place, like randomly. And I'm like, yo, is God trying to tell me something? Like, maybe I need to settle this.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't feel right when I see her. It's so weird, the feeling I get.
I mean, what do you think? And we're kind of just hypothetically just playing it through real quick. Mm-hmm. What do you think she would say if you said, excuse me, I would like to talk to you for a second?
She would probably turn her nose up in the air.
I'm just wondering, like, what would she say if you were just like, yo, I just wanted to maybe just apologize for the part I played in like our whole situation when we were kids. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how I would apologize for it. I'd feel like I'm being fake even addressing it. Because it doesn't, like, I don't harbor any ill feelings towards anybody from back then. Whether
right,
I just
nothing.
don't. I don't know what like dudes I was beefing with back then. I don't harbor no feelings to.
No, I'm not.
Well, maybe the person's struggling with like learning how to forgive somebody. So that would be interesting to approach it, because I don't think it would be fake to say that, maybe we were sorry for certain behaviors. Because if I look back, like I don't approve of some of the behaviors. Granted, like we were young and all that other stuff, but I don't think it'd be like too like not genuine to say that. I mean, I think some of that's true. I wouldn't like maybe take accountability for somebody else's behavior, but
yeah,
I would gladly do it. That's the thing. But my thing is, she wouldn't handle it in a mature way.
Yeah,
she has acting
exactly. So then, but I kind of feel like if you went there, then maybe, just maybe, if you kept seeing the person, then maybe you've tried everything, so that's on her. And or you know what, maybe you're keep being presented with this situation because maybe you're supposed to be helping her heal that whatever that is going on.
Know the type vibe and the wave I've been on lately. That's all I really want to do. I don't want to feel this way when I see her, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pushing 40. I'll be fucking 37 in a couple months. When I was hanging out with your daughter, I was 70.
First of all, I got to stop you right there. We are not pushing 40. All right.
No.
We are.
I am 37 years old. I will be 38.
Kind of like scratching at the door.
I will be 38 in a few months, but
you're right. Though.
It still ain't pushing. To me, that ain't pushing. 38 might be pushing 40. I don't know. 38 is pushing. 37 is not. 37. I'll be 38 right after you turn 37.
All right. Well, I ain't pushing 40.
A month after you turn 37, I'll turn 38.
Yeah.
Roughly a month, give or take a day or two.
Well, look, I'm in my late 30s. I'm gonna say mid 30s.
Yeah, we're doing birthday.
Be like grandma. We'll be the same age every year, right, Cal?
Yeah. We're doing birthday episodes too. Just so y'all know, get it right.
All right, I'm down with it.
I'm gonna have cake. I'm gonna send my gift, and you gotta open my gift and Monica's gift on air. That's how we doing.
So we're gonna
doing it like that.
Are you gonna have carrot cake?
We could have Derek and Lex join in.
Yeah.
And we could have a whole party. We could have a Zoom
we're gonna have a packed month in January.
Yeah, we might be locked down. We might be locked down. We might still be locked. Actually, we shouldn't still be locked down. I don't know. It depends on when are they locking down? Did they declare in Pennsylvania yet? Or
that's just Philly right now, I think, right?
Philly. Yeah, it's usually the major cities that they try to get.
Goofy ass mayor they got there, but I ain't gonna get on to that.
Is it Mayor Kenny?
Yes.
The white dude, old kind of white. I always thought he was cool. Is he not cool? I don't know his politics. I don't know his politics.
I don't know him personally, but I just think some of his decisions are a little suspect.
He seemed like a down to earth. To me, I don't know. I look at older white people being a minority. Sue me if I'm wrong, but I will speak my mind on this. And I'm half white anyway, so you can't nobody really say shit. I love being half white, Kel, I got an advantage. Being here, because I can say whatever I want, and really you can't say shit. And people say it to me all the time. They're like, "You're so lucky. You can say whatever you want." I can say whatever I want, but I don't say anything maliciously to hurt anybody. When it comes to race and shit, I don't play that shit. But when it comes to older white people, right?
Yeah.
And I will tell you, a lot of this stems from my own personal issues. You know what I mean? The white side of my family ain't fuck with us because we weren't white. You know what I'm saying? So they had an issue with that. But when I look at older white people in their 60s, 70s, you know what I mean? 50s, you cool. Because 50s, you ain't that old. You ain't that much older than me, for real. So I don't give the 50s, but 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't know. I judge you off the fact that if you fuck with minorities. I just do. I don't know. That's like all I really got for you, because we ain't got nothing else in common. So as long as you cool, and Mayor Kenny seems like he's cool. I'll be seeing him at elementary school, kissing little kindergarten. Hey, how you doing? Probably a little extra. Probably some molestation. Probably some type of Megan's Law shit going on there. You can't kiss at elementary.
Wait, what was that, Kelly? What'd you say?
Joe Biden said, if you ain't vote for me, then you ain't black.
Oh my God.
Joe, listen, you can't be, I don't think you can be racist and say some shit like that. He was very confident in the fact that I fuck with you, Black. I'm here for you. I'm your guy.
So cool about it though. It's like, yo, like me,
Kelly, with all the backlash, the niggas still voted for his ass. Listen, they still voted his white ass right up in there though.
Like crazy.
They might have voted for his vice president though, his VP.
Perhaps, but I think
he was smart. Listen, he was smart. You can't say that with a white VP. He said he got the black John and then started just getting bold on.
And it was crazy because during what was it? What's the part where they're trying to elect a Democratic candidate? Primary?
Yeah.
Yeah, the primaries,
I believe. Primary.
Yeah, like okay, so when Harris was competing with Biden for the Democratic seat, it was crazy because she was calling him a racist and was bringing up all the stuff he said about blacks in the 90s, how they were predators and all these other things.
She ain't saying it now.
I know, but it's just so crazy because I wonder if people like realize
it's circumstantial. That's all.
Yeah.
So it's
politics as usual.
Yeah, and I get it, but I just think it's ironic that, like, don't you ever think that, like, okay, when you're debating this person, then you'll say certain things. Do you ever think like, oh, okay, he might pick me to be the vice president? So like now, if I kind of say this when I probably don't have a chance to be the presidential candidate, want to make me, I would feel like a whole nut. Like
you gotta have thick skin to be a politician, though.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't say I agree with that, but I'm saying to you, just as a person, if I went and was saying to this person on national TV, you know, you're a racist, you're calling black people predators, and then I'm showing that the videos and all this stuff, and then now all of a sudden I'm your vice president candidate, and we're smiling and we're happy. It's just,
they always beef. Remember Obama and Biden?
I think.
They were beefing, and Obama had some things to say about him and vice.
Well, you're always, the thing is with them primaries is your VP's always coming out of that.
That's what I'm saying. So it's ironic. So you think that you'd be a little more careful because knowing that that's where you're going to pick your vice president.
But you're fighting for the throne. You know what I'm saying? Like you fighting for the presidency of the United States of America. That's a big deal, no matter how you look at it. So yeah, the gloves come off in them primaries, but then they got to go back on.
So she just not feel that way now?
And no. It's she may not have ever felt that way. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm not saying she didn't feel that way.
We don't know because we're not.
I think we talked about it last week too, with how am I going to judge Biden off some shit he did 25 years ago, 30 years ago? Is that fair? Is that fair to Biden? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? How about you? Because what if Biden was like this? How about you just judge what I do off the last 10, 15 years when I was actually in the White House and doing things like that? That's a good statement. Like, how can you argue with that? It's like, okay, you're right. Maybe I did make some mistakes back then. And I think we talked about it last week. He acknowledged it. So I'm not saying Biden's a change dude. All I'm saying is you got to present it. You got to look at it so many different ways. I don't know. Who knows? And like you said, maybe she just tucked her feelings because it's like, all right, maybe I got a chance to slide up in this White House after all.
And there she is.
I think it was a little bit of everything.
Yeah, the whole goal, I think the end game is to get into that goddamn White House.
Of course. Absolutely. That's definitely it. I'm just saying, me as a person, I would just feel like I couldn't come at y'all. Like,
and everyone, and Monica, everyone's
shit on somebody, and then you're with him the next day.
Yeah,
and everyone forgets about it. We always forget about it too. Like we already forgot that she said all that shit. You're the only one kind of bringing it up. The media doesn't bring that shit up no more.
Hell no, they ain't going to.
Nah,
no, just like they didn't bring up COVID for weeks, right? And then all of a sudden now that's like the big fucking story again. It's COVID again. Like, but it didn't go anywhere.
COVID took a backseat to the election.
Donald is still in the White House and won't concede.
For another 60
What has he got till January? Is it January?
He's got like 60 days left or so. 60 something.
I think about 61, 62. He ain't going until I really feel like they're gonna have to drag that motherfucker out.
I wonder
won't he cut a check for niggas on his way out the door. Like I wouldn't be mad at him. Listen, it's a pandemic. If we go back into a shutdown, it's going to be on his watch.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it like, nigga, yo, what's up with that stimulus money, Donald? Cut that money. Like, fuck.
They can deal with it.
Biden can deal with it when he gets in there with the deficit, nigga. I don't care about that. Just cut them checks, my nigga.
Yeah, but I will say this because we did talk about this last time. Because remember we were saying that I was saying you would think that being the president that when we were talking about the rallies, and you were saying like, oh, he can't go to this county and this county. I'm like thinking, oh, damn, like as the president, you think that he would, right? But Trump didn't trump the governor there, right? So the thing with the stimulus bill is that, you know, the House and the Senate have to agree on something, and they just are not budging either way. And that's what's holding it up.
Mitch McConnell's really holding it up.
Because not that I ain't going to front, not that I really need the money, but I mean, shit, I always take free money. Listen, I look at that.
Shit.
Listen, they cut me a $1,200 check right now. That's my album.
Yeah.
I'll get my album. I'll have my album mixed and done by Christmas. They cut me
I guess where I was like
$1,200 check
with the whole thing with the stimulus check is there or the package, because again it's more than just the check. Where I got frustrated was there was a lot of things in that package that both parties agreed on, you know, the House and the Senate or whatever the case may be, right? So wouldn't you think that you guys would just pass at least what you could compromise on now, or you both saw eye to eye about, and then address some of the other stuff that you were like, oh, I don't know about this, or yeah, we should do this later on.
Like
they just kind of was like,
basically draw up two bills. Basically, draw whatever y'all agreed on, make that one bill, and then whatever else y'all still beefing about trying to figure out, let's hold that off, and y'all could table that.
There are people that are really struggling, and like, let's be honest, like if you are out of work, you don't have no side hustle or whatever you got going on, $1,200, what the fuck was that buying you?
Listen, unemployment is at an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
It's never been this bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been like that all year, pretty much. I mean, it's been
prior
bad.
to that, I think it was the lowest that it ever been. So to see such a fluctuation, it's just like how powerful. Well, obviously the pandemic is powerful, but it's really overwhelming to see. And don't quote me on it, but I think prior to the coronavirus, I think it was like the lowest it's ever been, or it has been in a long time. And then now to just see the total opposite, it's really crazy how shit can switch like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, real quick, I want to switch it up on a little lighter note, but favorite song of all time.
Okay.
Heavy. Don't jump right into it. But favorite joint of all time. I can go first. Y'all can go first. Whatever. It don't matter to me. I know. I know mine.
Mine.
My favorite song, and I'll give you the song, and then I'll give you a little backstory on why I probably like it so much. I don't know why. One day I heard this song and I was like, this is definitely top 5 favorite songs. You know what I'm saying? I could probably give you 3 or 4, but this one I always kind of go to. And I'll play it late night. Some nights I'll be up drinking and like I'll be in the studio writing or whatever. And then after that, I kind of go into my bag where I listen to a lot of oldies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But mine is Tina Marie, Deja Vu.
Good choice.
Bad, man.
Not sure if y'all both familiar with it. You probably should be. If you're not, you better go check this song out.
Yeah,
and the song was written, I believe, and I looked this up, but you know what? I'll look it up right now as I talk. Believe it was written by Rick James. He wrote a lot of Marie's hits.
He wrote a lot of her stuff.
He wrote a lot of her hits back then. He was one of the best songwriters of the 80s.
Absolutely.
And Prince was there, Mike was there, but I'm gonna say Rick James had a little pocket where he was fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And a lot of his work with Tina is off the chain. But Deja Vu, I first started hearing Rick James, Tina Marie, my Aunt Lori. I only have one aunt, and it's my Aunt Lori. Y'all know my Aunt Lori.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Aunt Lori to death. She's my favorite aunt. She's my only aunt. She's my only actually legitimate aunt. I call a lot of my older cousins aunts, as a lot of people probably do. But she's my only aunt. I only have one aunt, so it's her. And Aunt Lori, we would have cookouts, and she would always put the oldies on. Her favorites were Ronald Isley. Okay. She loved Tina Marie. Tina Marie was always up there. You know, of course, Luther, Patty, all those. She gonna play that, and she'll play a lot of the old stylistics and shit like that. I ain't gonna say I'm too hip on, like they are. You know, they grew up in that era, but she would play Tina Marie, and Tina Marie's voice would always blow my mind. She had probably one of the best voices, I think, of anybody. I mean, I put her up against Mariah, Patti LaBelle, Aretha, and all them. Like Alicia Keys will probably fall into that category somewhere as Mary J. Blige. Mm-hmm. But this song, Deja Vu, it just blew my mind. And I think the first time it blew my mind was I was in a halfway house of all places. And we would listen at night. We would put on DAS. We was in Philly. It was a halfway house in Philly. So I put DAS on, and Tony Brown, Quiet Storm. He still had the Quiet Storm on DAS. So we would listen to that, and that song came on, and I was just like, I was listening to the lyrics, and I was just like, she is not, like, she just killed this shit. Like, talking about how she been here before and all this shit. Yeah. And the way, the layers of the song, I mean, the song, it's a long song. It's like 7 minutes long. Like, it's a very long song. But she just killed it. I don't know. Deja Vu for me, Tina Marie. I'll probably say it's definitely top 3. I mean, I could give you 3 or 4, but I'll say Tina Marie is definitely one for me.
I'm with it, and I love Tina Marie.
She said, I'm young and I'm old. I'm rich and I'm poor. She said something. I don't know. She talks about rainbow colored people because she was a white girl in a black genre of music. I mean, she was in soul R&B at the early 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was a little white chick. Like, she wasn't from the city or nothing. I don't know where she's from. I probably have to look it up. But Tina Marie, she looked like she almost didn't fit there, but she was a Rick James artist. So, and I think they actually had a relationship at one point. I think they were dealing with each other. But Rick James is crazy as shit. And I like some of her later stuff too. She came out with an album back in like the 90s or 2000 sometime or something that was fire. Like she had like 2 or 3.
What's his name produced that?
Her voice is amazing. She was like, I thank you. Like the way she hits them notes, I'm like, oh my God. Like
I'm still loving you,
baby. Oh my God, she's amazing. But yeah, Tina Marie, she's actually one of my favorite artists of all time. But that song, Deja Vu, is amazing. And then you have Fire and Desire, which is just as good with Rick James, which is Fire and Desire has to be on everybody's top 5 R&B songs of all time. If that's not on your top 5, I have to question your top 5.
It's up there. It's up
there. That nigga said, love them and leave them. That's what I used to do. He said, use and abuse them.
You actually sound pretty good.
He said, that was my claim to fame. And the way he switches up. He said, I was cold as ice long ago. Baby. He said,
you done killed that.
Very nice. That shit, he just was tripping on that joint. I was like, damn, that shit make me want to jerk off or something. I don't even know.
Come on.
I'm just saying, I don't know what I want to do sometimes when I hear that shit. And it's probably gay as shit. I want to jerk off to Rick James talking about, I was cold as ice.
I can't right now.
Long ago, baby.
Get your friend, Kelly, please.
Sheesh.
I don't know if I can. I think he's clear going.
I'm off the leash. So what's up? Let's get off this. You know what I mean? We're not, whatever. Everyone jerks off.
All right, I got 2 songs. I'm picking 2. Yep.
Right. Hold on.
Oh,
what, 2?
Hold on. I said favorite song. I got 2.
I got 2.
I got 5, but I gave you 1. What are we doing? All right, go ahead. Give us 2. Give us 3. Matter of fact, give us 3. Do you have 3?
I don't have 3. I got 2.
3.
I challenge you 2 or 3.
I don't have 3. I got 2.
All right, well, give us 2.
And the only reason I'm doing it is because they're different genres in music. So that's why I want to give too. That's all right.
Okay. You know what? I stand corrected. I apologize for questioning your authority.
We should have did a favorite song from every genre because I'd be all
Oh
over
yeah, definitely. I could do that. Next week we'll add some more.
next week.
All right. I'm gonna do Mary's Joint by Mary J. Blige. And then Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Watchtower.
Yes.
Okay.
I really like that song. I like the metaphors in that song, and there's so many ways that you could take what he's saying. And anytime I like music to make me think, and it really does that for me.
Does that song have or either one of those songs have any type of sentimental value? Or like, was there a time in your life when that song meant? Because I think with the Tina Marie thing, and I only say that because of this, I think with the Tina Marie thing, like I said, it reminds me of my Aunt Lori, and she would have them cookouts, and I always loved those cookouts because it was always just a great day. Like, we were kids, we get to run around, we get to drink soda all day, and we just be wild. Like, I'm
so it kind of makes
like,
you reminisce a little bit.
Yeah, it takes me to a place in my life, kind of.
Yeah.
With the Mary J. John, I think so, because just her music in general, I can relate a lot to. Especially that album. She's coming like out of like an abusive relationship. She's struggling with like drug and alcohol, depression. And any woman that's been hurt by a man, if you can't relate to Mary J. songs, I don't know what's wrong with you there. And you could just like, you could really feel that shit. She puts her whole heart and soul into it.
Yeah,
she's amazing. So, she's probably the best artist of our era, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think about a versus. Who could go against Mary J. Blige? I don't think you
I'm not thinking of any.
Mariah? Could you put maybe Mariah?
I know.
Maybe, but I feel like
probably Mariah. I think that would be that might be it. That might be it.
Maybe.
Mariah writes all her stuff. She's just, I don't
know. Mariah got some really big records.
Yes, she does.
She's the queen of the heartbreak ballad.
That should be it. Well, we should fucking try to fucking protest for that. That should be it.
That would be a good one, and I would honestly be torn because I'm a huge Mariah fan.
I don't think I could pick a winner in that. Even if I watched it, I still probably could pick winner. I'm like emotionally invested in both of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be tough.
And then I got to see Mary live, and then that was just her energy is unbelievable.
Yeah.
What about the Watchtower? What is it about the Watchtower?
I heard that a lot growing up. And you know, when you're younger, you hear music and then you may like not understand what certain things are. And even now, being as an adult, just hearing it, you could go so many directions with the lyrics. And I think Bob Dylan actually wrote that song and Jimi Hendrix sung it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just like a lot of stuff about it. And I think we talked about this before. Like, I think that was just a really good era of music. A lot of, and I don't know how you want to put it. I feel like I base a lot of my opinions on like when I'm looking at like pure talent. Like, you look at Mary J. and then you're looking at like Jimi Hendrix, and they're playing their instruments, they're doing all of that stuff. And you know, that's just really important to me when I'm listening to music, because I just feel like they put everything they got into it, as opposed to now where, and we've talked about this before, lyrics don't matter. You don't have to think. I need something to provoke my mind.
You just look at the impact that Jimi Hendrix had on music, and a lot of people forget he died at 27.
Yeah, very young.
27 years old when he died. He wasn't even in his prime yet.
I know.
As an artist, we know artists don't really get in their prime till like the late, third. Like, you could be in your early prime, which he was, of course. But he was going to level up musically and just as he matures as a person, because music is not more than just a reflection of who we are as people. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. It's just, how good this kid was at just playing a guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And
then
music. For like the Watchtower, like I like how you could take it so many different ways, like the metaphors in there. You could look at it like as Jesus and the devil, or you could look at it as like you're like an alter ego, like two versions of yourself, and the way the wordplay with it and all that is just really dope. I like it.
And Bob Dylan is an amazing songwriter as well.
Yeah,
he's one of the best songwriters ever, like period. Because his career spanned so many years. I mean, he started in the 60s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then carried into the 70s and the 80s where he kind of fizzled out. He wasn't, I mean, he still made a lot of music. He still made music through the 90s, and so he probably still makes music to, you know what I mean? I'm just not really into a lot of Bob Dylan. Great songwriter, but I can say I'm not a huge fan of Bob Dylan as
I wouldn't say that I like a whole bunch of his songs, but that one definitely is.
Mr. Tambourine Man was my shit though.
Yeah.
Mr. Tambourine Man was a good one. He had a lot of good songs, but he's more folk, so he does like a folky acoustic.
Yeah, and this Jimi Hendrix brings a whole different energy to this song.
Oh, I mean,
it's way different.
He's an animal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you couldn't pick anybody better to do that song.
Yeah, and it's cool that they got to work together. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just like we talked about before, like Prince wrote for a lot of people.
Prince wrote a lot of music.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of songs that you wouldn't even know.
7 hours and 16 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you've been
that actually was a Prince song. It was on his album. It was a B cut on his album that he never really used. And they were trying to push Sinead O'Connor. She was big in Ireland. She was a big, she's Irish. She's from Ireland. And they were trying to cross her over to the American audience. And that was the hit that did it. It's crazy how she took a song that didn't really work for Prince. I mean, it was a decent song, but it wasn't a big hit. I mean, it wasn't what she did. What she took that song and she did it justice too. She could sing her fucking it. My mom, that was one of my mom's favorite songs. So I always in the car in the Saturn, we get in the Saturn, and I already knew Sinead or Patti LaBelle or Anita Baker or something like that. But I like that song because I like the notes she would hit. She was hitting some shit in that joint. She was killing it. She killed that joint. Kel,
you're up.
Kel, where are you at? What give me a song. Give me one or two of your best.
I mean,
since we're doing two now.
We can go with two. I'm an Al Green fan.
Ooh. Since Since I've been together. Ooh, loving me forever. That's just I don't know. I'm trying.
Like when fucking Macaulay Culkin was faking his uncle in the shower with that song. Love and Happiness. I always liked that song. My grandma would listen to it all the time. She had like his greatest hits. But
Love and Happiness.
Hey, love will make you do right.
How about in the beginning where he says, hey, that joke? Yeah. They sampled that. Somebody sampled that back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody sampled just that part. And I was like, yo, that's off the Al Green. I knew exactly where it was from.
So look, even when I was a kid, I heard him say, and this is part, some of the lyrics. He said, love will make you do right. Love will make you do wrong. Make you come out early. Make you stay out all night long. Yeah. And like, I remember my grandma, because my pop was no saint, but I remember I could see her like singing that part and just like how she was vibing to it. And I'm looking at her and I'm understanding the lyrics too, because it's like, that's just how it be.
I used to think your grandpa was a pimp, and I'm wrong for that because he wasn't, but I don't know why. I just thought he was. He had the dark glasses on. I'm telling you, he had that cane, and he was smoother than anything. When he came to church didn't start until Mr. Barr got there.
Pretty much. Thank God he was there.
I swear to God, it did not start until Mr. Barr got there, and everyone just loved. He was just his personality was amazing. Like he had.
And you know what?
He was amazing.
He was,
I fuck
yeah,
him.
he was. Yeah, that's like.
I don't want to get you emotional talking about it, but
It's okay. I mean, like when I think about him, it's just all good things. And he loved this song too. That's another thing. It was just a special thing because I noticed how they both, love that song, and then just to hear them lyrics, I'm like, and Al Green kind of like my grandmom had left my grandfather for like a year or so, and that brought them back together. Like
I know that's right.
especially Al Green, and my grandmom liked Aretha too.
yeah,
All that soul.
absolutely.
I just had a memory about your grandfather. Remember like when his vision wasn't that good, right? And we were smoking and literally we just lit the cigarette, right? And we're young as shit.
Point.
He knew in like, I don't even think a second went by. I said, how does he know? He was yelling at us. Sorry. Yeah. Who's smoking? I'm like, oh shit. Like we just sparked that motherfucker and he knew right away.
All his other senses were like on point because
heightened. Yeah. Exactly. But I just like we literally, I don't even think I took a drag. Yeah, like a full drag. He already knew.
Yeah. That used to bug me. I'm like, hey, can't you smell that?
Yeah, like we can't get away with nothing right now.
But yeah, so we got Al Green, Love and Happiness, and then Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall.
I love that.
Need no education. And that, what is it, the guitar hook?
Yeah.
It's just,
That was a really good album. That was a good album.
I like Pink Floyd's album. Yeah, definitely.
I like Dark Side of the Moon a little better, but The Wall was fire too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All good. But
leave those kids alone.
Yeah. Okay. Feels like I should have been singing that in school.
That's a hit. Like if you think about it, that's just a hit.
Sure.
That's just catchy as shit.
It's so catchy.
And the bass line. The bass line's the whole beat.
If my daughter goes virtual, I'm playing that on the Zoom.
You definitely want to.
Absolutely.
No.
That's coming on.
That shit's fire.
Yeah.
That
shit is fire.
Control.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They was on some shit back then.
Yep.
And it's the same shit. It's the same shit the government and it's whoever's in charge. It's the same shit they try to do.
Yeah. They said we don't need, what did they say? No dark sarcasm in the classrooms. They just killed that.
Yeah. Yes, they did. It's very deep.
Yeah.
And we talked about this like before. Like, I think education is important, but to a certain degree, because a lot of stuff that they teach, you'll never use again.
There's a lot of stuff they didn't teach that we really need. Like
exactly.
There's a lot of stuff they kind of
learn how to do my taxes.
Yeah. Credit, all that shit.
Like money. They should have money smart programs. Show people how to really budget a bank account and stuff like that. Like real shit.
Absolutely.
That's
so essential.
Like how hard would it be to have like a classroom where it's like, okay, well, you make this much a week, but at the end of each week you have to like pay your bills in front of them, like so they can see, and then you see how much you have left. So you have some type of idea of like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this in 10 years or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't know how you are when you want to implement this, but if they're 8, 9 years old, they're gonna have to do this in 10 years on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm already trying to implement it now.
Not everybody.
I really am.
Yeah, not everybody, but
the tech school had a class, and this was probably my 11th grade year, but it was called World of Work.
Okay.
And I thought it was fire because they did teach us about things, but it was so, I don't know if they still have it or what, or if it was just something they were testing out. But I liked it. They showed me about stocks and bonds, investing, all that stuff. But that was tech too. They did things a little bit differently.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think a lot of schools do that. Teach kids that, and then you might, you grow up working 9 to 5, talk about credit scores, importance of, owning your home or own business, things like that. I don't remember really hearing a lot of that in school.
No, they don't.
And I liked how tech school, like just any really vocational school, vocational tech. I like that they started in high school too, because I feel like when you're at a certain age in life, like I don't know, whatever you want to be, that usually switches later on. So I kind of feel like it allows you to kind of dabble in something and just see like, you know, is this for me or it's not? And it kind of just kind of prepares you for maybe like, do I want to go to college for this, or do I want to go to trade school for this, or whatever the case may be.
So you got to look back in the day, not even that long ago. You're talking probably 60s, 70s, to where it started changing over a little bit. But you know, when you were 14, 15, your parents would try to judge like, okay, is he academically gifted? Is he going to make it to college? Because if not, motherfucker, you about to go get this job and learn this trade.
Exactly.
Because you got to kick in. You got to kick in at that age. You know, there was a lot of, you know, when you, of course, you had fortunate people that had money and didn't have to live it that way. But, you know, a lot of poor people like, all right, dog, like it's better you get to work now at 15, 16 and learn something, learn how to fix cars, learn how to concrete or whatever your trade is. You learn it now. So by the time you're 20, 21, when we finally kick your goofy ass out, you can maintain and you could raise your own family and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about, man. I think a lot of times school, there's an expiration date on it. Some of us stay way past it. You know what I mean?
Like I know somebody that wanted to advance in their career, and they were pretty high up anyway. And they were told by their company that they needed a college degree, and it didn't matter what degree it was. So it had nothing to do with the person's work. It was just that they needed to have a degree.
So basically, it has nothing to do with my qualifications.
Nothing at all. And when you were talking about like bills and stuff, like one thing that I think was really dope that my mom did, she gave me almost the illusion that I was paying bills at such a young age, 14 and 15. She was taking parts of my check, and I'm fortunate enough that she didn't take it, but she allowed me to think that I was paying these bills. So
she putting it in an account for you?
Yeah.
But she didn't let you know that.
Never. Never.
That's dope.
At all.
That's dope.
Yeah. So you know, you live here, you have to contribute. Now I still had to obviously clean and do all that. And she never even believed in an allowance either. And that my daughter's already talking about allowance. I'm like, we're not doing allowances here. Because she's like, when you live here, if you can't contribute financially, you're going to contribute somehow, and this is what you're going to do.
You're going to clean and you're going to do some goddamn chores.
Well, when I was at school and I'm seeing people like, oh, my allowance money this week, I'm thinking, damn, I clean a lot at the house. I don't give a fuck.
But you're not, listen, but you already know them situations weren't the same either. Some of them.
Well, yeah, but again, like at that age, I didn't. Now that I'm adult, like I peed.
Some of them kids had cars. Some of them kids got cars for their sweet 16s too.
Exactly.
It wasn't going down like that in our households.
I didn't even get like.
I didn't even have a party for my sweet 16.
No, not at all.
My parents never bought me a car, ever.
No.
My dad bought the car before he died, and I ended up getting that John because I just picked the payments up or whatever. But my parents ain't never bought me no fucking car, ever. Like not one time in my life and my parents loved the shit out of me. They didn't buy me no fucking car.
No, not at all.
That just ain't part of my story or none of our stories.
No, none of ours. And I think like we were talking, it taught us a lot because it taught us to what it's like to earn money. And when you purchase it yourself, you appreciate it more. I can't tell you how many people that were given cars as teenagers and they just ran them to the fucking ground because they knew their parents would buy them another one.
Every person that got a car given to them ran that joint into the ground.
Because mom will buy me another one.
We was in that joint 7 deep smoking blunts on Charlestown Road somewhere. Like,
thank you.
And they parents whip.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever car that they had bought. You know what I mean? Like anybody. Like it's just your kids. You have no sense of responsibility really at that age.
Exactly. You know? And I feel like maybe I could speak for all of us. Like at the time we probably thought like, damn, like they're drooling or whatever. But now like I look back and I'm like, wow, we're so lucky to have the parents that we had, you know, to teach us that. Because I feel like we were so much more far ahead in like understanding life and responsibilities than other people. Because it's just like a disservice. You almost like handicap your children.
Yeah.
That's like when I was saying how some parents look at the friends and say it's their fault instead of the kid's fault. It's you're not doing them you're doing them a disservice by not holding them accountable for the part that they playing in this whole situation. So it's the same thing. It's just if I give them everything, how are they ever going to appreciate anything?
Or know what it's like to work,
or know what it's like to have to know how long it takes. Think about when you buy a kid a car at 16. Cars are expensive. Even if you buy them a cheap car for like $3,500, $4,500, $5,000 or whatever on like a little beater. You know what I'm saying? You want to buy your kid something decent. You don't want to get them nothing straight. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want to crash.
Yeah, if I ever even thought about giving Alana a car,
but I'm saying, let's say you spent $5,000 on a car. That's a lot of money, though.
Yes, absolutely.
That the kid doesn't realize that's a month's worth of pay, probably. For you know what I mean? And with a decent job, that's a month's worth of pay, or 2 months, or a month and a half, whatever, worth of money. Like that's a lot of bread. That's not chump change. You know what I'm saying? That you kick it down. That's a major investment in anyone's budget. I don't care who you are. That's a $5,000 hit. Is like, all right, boom. Like you gonna know about that. It ain't something you just forget about. But kids don't have that understanding, and the fact that they don't teach it, like Kelly said, in the schools is just it makes sense. I don't get it. I don't care that you teach a lot of this goofy shit that don't matter. Like, who cares about the fucking periodic table of science? Like, I don't care what salt. I don't care what sodium is.
And all the lies they taught us to believe.
That shit don't fucking help me in the real world. But maybe teach me how to balance a bank account, or teach me about money and about anything. Credit,
all that shit.
Like, why not teach this stuff? Why not try to get kids when they turn 18 to start working on their credit immediately, and not
exactly
a goofy ass loan out to go to school, $100,000 loan just to go to college.
And then you're fucked. And that's if you get a job with that degree when you come out.
They said the most debt in this country, it's either between credit cards and student loans. Yeah, that's it. It's the biggest. It's where people. It's the pitfall, basically. It's where people fall into that hole, and it takes them 10, 20 years to fucking climb out of it.
It's crazy.
I was almost like raised not to believe in credit cards too, which is it's crazy. Which kind of like I probably could have got my credit boosted a little bit earlier had I been taught. I wasn't ever taught that aspect.
This credit card right here. I just pulled the motherfucker out of my motherfucking Joan. Like,
but I feel like that
out of my desk. I don't even use it.
Yeah. And I feel like a credit card should come when you're financially mature, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't want a teenager with a fucking credit card. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or somebody that's just like if somebody was going to leave somebody money in trust for, you don't want to give that to an 18-year-old usually.
I knew a lot of teenagers. I knew a lot of teenagers with credit cards. I was never.
Yeah, well, they ain't paying the bill. Trust me.
I was never one of them, but I knew teenagers that had their own personal credit card, which was crazy. Yeah.
I was almost scared to get a credit card because it was like the way I was kind of taught. It's like, damn, if you ain't got the money now, why you gonna pay double for it later or this? But then I realized as I got older, you know what you could do.
You can utilize it
for emergencies. You know, we were just talking about this with my mom. Like, my Aunt Kathy drove back down to Atlanta. She came to get Imani's old car, and that car broke down in like Maryland.
Yep.
She had her credit card, so she rented a room and then got her rental and drove the rest of the way home the next day. But for stuff like that,
absolutely.
You know, but if you're gonna have them be reckless, especially if your limit's high, you know, motherfuckers don't know how to act. They see like it was 5,000. I'm gonna go buy, I don't know, something dumb.
Yeah.
You gotta pay it back.
Definitely.
Pay 10,000 back.
Then it goes to collections. So on your credit report, it's a whole mess.
Yeah, be drawn.
Then fucked up the custard.
You ain't getting no luck. Fucked up the custard.
Get up the custard.
I fucked up the barbecue chicken for real.
Now wait, let me ask you this: Have you been back there since the chicken?
No, that was last night. I had off today.
All right, so when you go there tomorrow,
I gotta go there tomorrow. I gotta go to the chiropractor, and then I gotta go. Damn, I ain't even. Yo, I'm fucking up, bro. I didn't even tell my work that I had a fucking. Damn, I gotta call them in the morning. That's gonna suck.
Not only did he fuck up the chicken, he got to tell him he gonna be a little late.
If his job's still there.
It don't matter. Listen, on some real shit, it don't matter that I'm late because I could just stay an hour late and it's the same
burn
shit
up some more chicken.
Nah, the same shit gets done. But I didn't even tell him. I meant to tell him today, but I slept most of the day because I felt like shit.
Oh my God.
I was very irresponsible today. Listen.
So are you gonna go to work tomorrow?
Yes, I'm going to work. What you mean? I'm not gonna go to work. I'm walking in there. I'm walking in there with my shoulders.
Are you gonna bring some carrot? Are you gonna have some carrot cake before you go in?
No, I ain't eating no carrot cake.
Okay.
Y'all fuck carrot cake up for me. That's probably why I turned down that slice the other day, because y'all done fucked that shit up. Nah, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Both of y'all fucked it up because y'all was on the phone talking. He left with the carrot cake. And then B was on there. B too. I'm gonna grind B up when I see him because he was part of it.
Yeah.
I felt like B played a part in this. I remember
B was acting like we were tripping. That was the only part.
B knew y'all was tripping. That's what he knew. Because when I walked in the house, he was like, "Yo, cuz," and he gave me the look, and I know the look because I know B. I knew B before you knew B, so I know B. He gave me the look, and I said, "B, this looks like they knew we had coffee in the motherfucking office. What happened, buddy?" You know what I mean? He gave me the coffee in the office look, like, nigga, they got us. Right? So I walked in the joint. He gave me the look like that. I'm like, oh man, what I do now? So B hit me with the joint. They said you was eating a carrot cake and got kicked off. Like, you left your phone out. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It wasn't even that big of a deal, but y'all fucked it up for me. Y'all know what it is. I might have to cut this part out because ain't nobody gonna know what we talking about. But y'all fucked it up, so I can't even eat carrot.
I thought that was your last meal.
No reason why I should look at a piece of carrot cake and get emotional.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it, Kelly. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All, there is no reason that I should see. Wait. I see carrot cake and I get happy because that motherfucker's still alive. I should not have any emotion towards carrot cake. And now I
carrot cake, my nigga.
I'm gonna tell you this. Of all the times that I could not be alive, right? All the close calls that Ricky Fitz had in his day, that wasn't one of them. And that's why I was so upset. I was like, what are they tripping?
No, it felt like it because I just wanted, and I know that we were cutting all
it was a rough place. It was a rough place in my life.
It was. And
I like that piece of carrot cake.
Yes, and that's what made it so special. You brought it home. I know it. You brought it home.
Kelly got me that carrot cake. I fucked that carrot cake up. It was in the morning time. B had me hyped thinking I was cool. I could go back to work. I didn't think I could, but B thought I could. B was thinking very optimistic at the time. The cup was half full.
He's good for that, ain't he?
I know that's right.
We went.
Come to work.
It didn't work out. I got kicked off the job site, and I left my phone, but I didn't care because I had my paycheck. And at the time, I was abusing drugs and alcohol.
And it was
very
Tuesday.
It was going up on a Tuesday. Listen, it was fun. I spent half the check before I got home, but we ain't gonna talk about that. All we're gonna talk about is the positive.
Kelly said, I called Kelly up. She said, I checked the fridge. She said, the carrot cake I bought him's good.
As if the Grim Reaper motherfucking swiped it on his way out the door.
We were trying to figure out if you came back or did you take it in the morning. So then I called B up. I said, was Corey eating anything? He said he had some type of cake on the way. I said, that was just a carrot cake. And then I was terrible. I was crying.
You know what's crazy though? I always like carrot cake, but after that I like it even a little bit more, even though it gives me some mixed emotions.
Listen, I hate carrot cake and I get happy when I see it.
You get the cream cheese icing. That shit is popping.
That's what I got you too.
I'm also got you a beautiful piece of carrot.
It's the best cake on the planet. It's the best cake on the planet. You know what I mean? Kuna Grill. If you want to get the triple layer, you know what I mean? Come to Kuna Grill. They got the triple layer. That's our sponsor for the week. Kuna Grill. Shout out to them. I burnt the motherfucking barbecue chicken. But we ain't gonna talk about that. We just gonna talk about the bright moments. Cause I really I burnt the barbecue chicken. But I fucked that day up. I killed that shit. I said.
So wait, you gotta call him tomorrow and tell him you're not coming. Period.
What are you talking about? No.
What happened with tomorrow? You said you're gonna have to go back in now, and then something with the chicken. You ain't gonna be able to go in on time.
No, I'm walking in with my shoulders high. I don't give a fuck about that chicken.
And it's
No, you had an appointment. You had an appointment. I
gotta go. I gotta go to the John, so I gotta call and like leave a message or something. I don't know who I gotta call, but I'm gonna call somebody like and let them know.
Are you gonna be late or are you leaving early?
I'm gonna be a little late because I gotta go to the appointment. I forgot that. No, I forgot to call. I forgot to call the and let them know. But I don't really care about that because they can't afford to lose me right now. They can't afford to lose me right now. You know what I'm saying? We got COVID. We got Mickeys. We got blunts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm the brother of Isaac Johnson. Like they can't.
I got Corey walking in there late, eating a piece of cake. He'll fuck one a piece of carrot cake up.
Kelly said, I know that's right. Ike ain't kept a job ever.
No, he really hasn't. Not that I can recall.
Ike's worse than me when it comes to job.
Yeah, and Ike, I remember him saying one time, he said, I really just wish somebody would knock on the door and ask me if I needed a job.
Ike told me the one time, he said, Corey, I just don't think I'm cut out for this type of lifestyle. I was dying. I was super dying.
Aren't, though. There's a lot of people like that. I don't, and I'm not knocking.
Ike ain't got to worry too long. I keep telling him, I said, man, look, just believe in me. And I'm going to have his ass out in Hollywood somewhere. He's going to be my manager or something. He's going to be somebody. He's going to fuck up. Ike going to fuck up. If I made Ike my manager, I'd probably cuss him out every day. But we love each other too much, so we could probably have this conversation. Fuck you too, nigga. Yeah, all that. It's going to be, listen, it's going to be a lot of fuck you too, nigga. Bum ass nigga.
And lots of carrot cake.
No, not lots of carrot cake. Because Ike, I feel like Ike's going on a diet too. Fuck all that. Ike big as shit. Ike blew up. Ike got real big. Bigger than I guess I ever seen him at.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's not doing too good either, man. Shout out to Ike. Let's send Ike some love. We love you, Ike.
I love you long time.
Love you, Ike Money. Before we get out of here, we're gonna send Ike some love. Ike's been needing it, man. Ike's struggling, going through some shit, just mentally, I think. A lot of shit.
Love you, Ike. Thinking about you.
I don't think he loves his current circumstances, so he's trying to improve it. But but I hope that one day, man, I could do that. So hopefully that comes sooner than later. We can figure it out.
I hope he feels like joining us one day.
A lot of music going down.
Can we
a lot of shit coming out.
I'd like to hear about it.
A little bit before we end it. The video you posted. You said you might not want to use that verse on that beat. Lex did it, right?
Oh yeah, you're talking about that should be on Lex's album. I think he sent it to me. I think that's a song that might make his album. So
it's fire. I love it.
Where is Rap Man? Where is he at?
I'm trying to get the second verse on it. I'm not spitting the second verse.
Good.
No.
Why?
It's almost done. I mean, it's ready to rock.
I've been waiting for it.
That's going to be on. Listen. Shout out to Fresh Out of Eagleville. The album's gonna be called Fresh Out of Eagleville.
Okay.
It is. It's just that's what it has to
I don't know. Lex made a compelling argument a few weeks back.
Lex made a compelling argument, but Lex lost in this argument. He didn't win. You know what I mean? Shout out to Lex. Love Lex. But
I would have Phil Kelly, and I don't know if you saw that part.
Fresh Out of Eagleville has to be Fresh Out of Eagleville because that's where I'm at. That's the obstacle here. I'm trying to get over that chapter, so I have to close it.
Okay.
And I think this album should do it. I mean, I'm almost positive this album should work. It should do it. So I got to close a lot of that. There's a lot still going on upstairs with me that I want to kind of put that to rest, and then I can focus on Fitz and Fury. This album isn't Fitz and Fury. Like I know what Fitz and Fury is going to sound like. I know
he wanted you to call it American Beauty.
I know what American Beauty is going to sound like. It's just not going to come out in chronological order the way he wants it to.
I've been waiting for Fitz and Fury.
I'm going to give it to him. Fitz and Fury is going to be crazy. I got 6-7 joints in the tuck for that, but I got like 9 or 10 pretty much ready to go. I think Fresh Out of Eagleville is done, so I got to get the artwork done. I got to get the whole thing mixed, and I hope to have it out by your birthday, Kel. So.
Oh.
Come on, that'd be lovely.
I'd say mid to end January. I don't want to like force it and push it too early, but I'm gonna start sending some of these songs to get mixed by shout out to Scott Stallone. in Philly. You know what I mean? One of the best producers, mixers, engineers in Philly.
Nice.
I think it's Back Cave Studios, I believe he works in. He probably works, you know, he does a lot of freelance work as well, but he's a legend in Philly. If you know Scott Stallone, you know he's a beast. I think I'm gonna try to send at least 4 or 5 joints over to him. I'm gonna have to pay to get it done, but I don't mind. He's a beast, so he's gonna do this thing to it. But I'm trying to basically just get all 9, 10 of these songs ready to rock, and we're gonna drop them and get them out. So
let's fucking go.
We got the LCOB album. I think I talked about it last week. That's in the works right now. Lex Darwin, he should be out too, probably by beginning of next year. Same time my album should be dropping, he should be dropping. I think I don't know. Murdoch's being real quiet. I don't know if he's working on something himself, but me and Crack are working on the album. Me and Crack are working on the album. Crack's working on the album. So Foundation Music Group, a lot of music coming really soon. I know I've been saying that all year, but it's been a wild year. So I hope that y'all excuse some of the excuses that we dropped and allow us to give them to you early 2021, hopefully. So
we're ending
I got some singles. I got some singles dropping soon. I'm gonna get a few videos, 1 or 2 videos dropped. I hope to get 3 before the end of the year, but I might get 2. So in the next month and a half, you'll probably get 2 new videos, which I plan on shooting in the next week or 2. Hopefully my back feels a little better. I haven't been feeling up to par, not to make excuses for myself, but
right.
And this depression hurt me. It just, I don't know, it just puts me in a bad space sometimes. But
I want to ask you something, and you could cut this out later. What do you mean you got a lot going on upstairs? What's wrong with you? What are you talking about?
Just mental health.
The people upstairs? Oh no, that's under the stairs. Never mind.
It's just, I don't know, just a lot going on. Like I said, I think Fresh Out of Eagleville is going to help me close a chapter in my life that was pretty rough, and a chapter that I haven't fully gotten past. Just honestly, you know what I mean?
No, I get it.
And we know what that's about. I don't think the fans are going to understand that part, but they don't have to. It's been a rough part. It's been a rough few years. The last year and a half, almost 2 years, been great, but
yes,
it's still a lot of residual shit lingering over from the last chapter. So you got to put that shit to rest, like we were talking about. Like our friend's mom running around still mad about some shit that happened in 98. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to sweep it under the rug. You gotta let that shit
you gotta deal
out.
with it. And music is the way I can get a lot of that shit out. So we're gonna get it out, and we're gonna continue to get it out probably for the next 20 years until I stop rapping, I guess. So
I'm gonna be rapping forever. I'm gonna be rapping Foundation like 80 years old.
I'm gonna be old as shit, still rapping. Shit. I'm just trying to buy a mansion in Scottsdale, kid.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this momentum up. But again, I just appreciate everybody watching and everyone's feedback and people wanting to hop on with us.
Definitely. And we're gonna get a lot more people on.
Oh yeah.
Get them on. Just people gotta be patient. Like we'll get you on when we can. There's a lot of people that inbox us. So we get a lot of inboxes, we get a lot of people that want to be on it. And we gotta keep the integrity of the show. So just bear with us. We'll try to get everybody in eventually. So just stick with us, keep watching.
Some of y'all can
Go ahead, Kel.
No, I was just gonna say some of y'all can stop inboxing me and asking me if I need beats, because I don't.
Kelly's gonna start rapping. Kelly was supposed to already start rapping, but she was
I wrote some things. I did write some things. Yeah. My whole thing is I don't like the way I sound, and it's it's weird. You know how that can be. Like, even if I hear myself on a voicemail or something, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, you never hear like I've heard my voice, and that's not what it sounds like to me at all. Yeah, it's weird, right?
Weird. Yeah. But I did write some things for you. I did. And I've been writing things since probably, I was probably like 14. In Sharky's classes when I really started.
I know that's right.
Sharky.
Yeah.
Yo, and before we get out of here, I want to say rest in peace to King Vaughn, rest in peace to Mo 3.
Yes.
And anyone else, Benny the Butcher. You know what I mean? Our prayers were out for you. I think he's fine. He's okay. But we know a shot in the leg could end you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Rest in peace to Ryan Young. who died from getting stabbed in the leg, like crazy, like just
Ryan. Oh man, that's a heartbreaker right there.
I don't know. It's just like the violence is getting worse, and maybe it's just the pandemic, maybe it's the times that we're living in right now. Whatever
I
it
think
is,
it's a lot of factors.
Some justice needs to be served for Ryan. I see Brittany, his sister, posting some things, so I know there's some people we can call and keep getting that motion. I'll try and get the information next time and make sure I got everything right. Just, if we can support them in any way.
he was a big Foundation fan. He would always hit me up. He used to hit me up just on the low, and I didn't even know Ryan. I knew his sister a little bit just because of my baby mom and her were friends back in the day or whatever. But I didn't really know Ryan. But you know what I mean? He just showed mad love. He was just like, yo, y'all killing it out here. I remember I dropped I Am Culture or something. He hit me up. He was like, yo, this shit on fire and shit. So it's just a shame, like, died way before he, I feel like he probably should have. So but
we don't get to pick. We don't get to pick when we're born, and we don't get to pick when we die. It's two things we don't know.
No, we don't. And we just we could do our best while we're here.
Absolutely.
That's what we gonna do, kids.
That's what we gonna do. I mean? Shout out to everybody that watch, our viewers, everybody that checks us out. Subscribe, like, please. We've gained some subscribers too. We got a couple more subscribers this week, which is cool.
Yeah, who's John Legend?
John Legend is a mysterious man.
Come on, who is it?
I feel like he's obsessed with Monica on the low. Shout out to I'm calling out John Legend. John Legend, show yourself in the
come on, Johnny boy.
Show yourself in the comments this week, John Legend. Who the fuck are you? I know who you are, but show the rest of
it. Before we don't want to tell.
Show your fucking face.
Of course not.
It seems like somebody.
Show your face. Show your face. Fucking John Legend.
I just want to know who it is. I fucks with you, John Legend.
John Legend's our biggest fan so far, I think. I would say.
We're just ordinary people.
That's who I thought it was at first. I thought it was a real John Legend.
I wish it was.
Didn't have the blue check next to it.
You guys share these videos, guys, on YouTube. Tell your mom, tell your dad.
Tell your mom to watch them. If you're from Phoenixville and ain't watching this, you fucking up.
Yeah, you fucking up the custard big time.
You fucking up the custard. You know what I'm saying? Get it together. You know what I mean? Love you guys. Love y'all too. See y'all next week.
All right, good night. Peace.
But y'all know what it is. Foundation, Music Group, LCOB, Mickey's, Swishers.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday. Going down. Throwback Thursday tomorrow. I might post a picture of me in jail.
Some old shit.
Who knows?
We'll do it.